What's up, everybody? You are tuned in to Ring Theory. You are tuned into the Nefarious Media Network. And today you have myself, Downtown Brown, here to bring to you some graps and some theories for that, if you get what I mean. And so today I got my tag team partner with me, upper mid card Jey Lacey. Man, how you doing today? Are you ready to talk about some of these graps? We got a big show coming up. So, you on mute, my brother. You on mute. It's all good, my man. I do it all the time.
Party foul. My bad, brother. How you doing, bro?
It's all good, man. It's all
Weekend
good.
is already starting off to a fantastic start. I'm excited. We got an extra weekend, extra long, extra day. A lot of wrestling to get through, bro. I'm excited to chop it up with you, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. And it's not just gonna be you and I, because it's a triple threat, man. It's a triple threat, and we got the one, the only, the nefarious liaison himself, Mr. Two-Way Ray. How you doing, man? Papa from the backstage. Come on, man. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, good brothers? It's always a pleasure to join you, good brothers, on episode 2. Like Attack of I messed it all up. Episode 2, like Attack of the Clones. If you're a Talib Kweli fan,
but with that, I had to bring both of y'all on before we start any of the topics, because today, folks, we're gonna talk about WrestleMania 42 news. We're gonna cover Backlash. We're gonna preview Saturday night's main event coming up just tomorrow. We're gonna talk about, hey, who we think we're gonna win Money in the Bank, and also another little prediction I have in there. And the main event, we're gonna cover Sunday's Double or Nothing and what we think of that card coming up. So, but before we get into that, NBA Finals. We know I'm not the most sportsy one on the Nefarious Network, but that game 1, man. Wow. How do we feel about that?
Well,
we rooting for in the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm talking about the Knicks. Look, I'm in my home area. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm a full disclosure. I'm a recovering Knicks fan. whole family's from New York, New Jersey area, New York area. I grew up New York Yankees, New York Knicks. That's how I grew up. I live out here in Cali, but you know what? Yankees are still my number one. Love the Dodgers, but Yankees are number one. Going back to that, the Knicks, I was a diehard Knicks fan up until 2008. And that was because they broke my heart so many times. History is about to repeat itself yet again. And you know what? I'm not even happy about it. I mean, I'm actually disappointed about it, because I really think that this year's Knicks squad could be NBA championship contenders. I think they could go to the win the Eastern Conference Finals, but that man Halliburton, oh my gosh, he's showing himself out. You know what I mean? And he is the reincarnation of a menace to New York right now. He's just doing it. So I wish New York well. I really do hope they do well, but I wouldn't be disappointed, or I wouldn't actually be shocked, I should say, if New York just collapsed all over themselves.
Hey, let's give New York some credit. That was a back and forth game.
It was really good.
That last 3 that Halliburton hit, I've only seen that like a couple times in my life. I think Rip Hamilton hit it like a few years ago. It might have bounced off the shot clock and then went in. That miss going into a shot, that 3 was amazing. So and I usually root against the Pacers just off of just bias alone for a friend, because she cannot stop talking about them. And that's all she loved. She ain't never talked about the NBA before, but then she moved to Indy, and that's all she talk about now is the Pacers, the Pacers, the Pacers. So, our basketball different. Nah, it's not. Take a breath.
Here's the thing.
Hey.
Here's the thing. I love when New York wins, because it seems like the world is a little bit happier place. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why I want the Knicks to win, is because I really can't deal with too much more misery and sadness in the world right now. I really want them to do well and win. And I just, again, wouldn't be surprised if they lost it, just because history has a tendency to repeat itself, bro.
Well, I can tell you, Ray, I need to hear from you. What do you think? Do you think that is this all doom and gloom truly for the Knicks? Like, is it over for them? Come on, man. Is it like, because I think it's gonna be all the way to game 7 with them. I do not think they're going to choke. I know Halliburton did the choke motion. I don't think it's going to be a choke. I think it's going to be a competitive final all the way to the end. I think the Knicks have been some dogs, and I don't think it's going to let it slide.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be that easy. I think Indiana got hot at the right time. That brother Naismith hitting 6 3-pointers within the span of 5 minutes. That was just, I think, like everything was just going right for the Pacers at that time. And speaking of choking, with Halliburton, he was so fortunate that they were able to get the dub in overtime, because he didn't realize when he shot that shot, his foot was on the line. And so he thought the game was over. And so that could have ended drastically for him. So I think it was lucky for him. But I think all of the Knicks are dogs. I think they're going to continue to fight. And yeah, I agree. I think that it will go at least 6-7 games, or at least 6 games, and definitely, possibly, I don't know. Those are oxymorons. Possibly to a 7th game. But yeah, I think it's going to be a fight throughout. But yeah, I don't think this is going to put them down and out. I just think their stars need to start taking over, like Carl Anthony Towns. He needs to play a bit more better. Jalen Brunson, of course, he was putting the team behind his back, or on his back, the entire run of the playoffs. And I think a lot of people, I think with every series, people were kind of downplaying Jalen Brunson's ability. Like every series, I think with the I think who they played first, not the Cavs. They played Detroit first. They were saying, "Oh, Cade Cunningham is the best player on the floor." Then they go into Boston. They're like, "Oh, Jason Tatum is the best player on the floor." And now we're going into this series, and like some people are not even saying like he's the best Nick on the team or the Nick on the floor. They're talking about Karl Anthony Towns, the best Nick on the floor. And so I think he needs to come out with that chip on his shoulder once again. And he just needs to continue to put this team on their back. Other people need to step up, like a Josh Hart. And I think they can make it happen. And I'm surprised. Jay, Upper Midtown Jay, or Upper Mid Card Jay. See, I'm mixing. See, I'm pulling a brother Nate. I'm mixing the nicknames. I'm
Fusion.
Upper Mid Card Nate. Or now I'm calling Nate. Upper Mid Card Jay. I actually work with a Knicks fan. Like he's one of the teachers that I co-teach with. And like, brother, you ain't getting the hype. You're not going crazy with your predictions. He's like, no, not yet, because I think he's kind of reserved like you. But I think I came across this video on X/Twitter, and I wish all Knicks fans were as reserved as my coworker and as reserved as you, brother Jay, because these guys, I think it was either right before Game 6 or right after Game 6. These guys were going crazy when they were playing against Boston. Like F Boston. They're F Dunkin' Donuts, F clam chowder. They were going crazy. It was like, if I see Jason or Justin or Jason, it is Jason. If I see Jason Tatum, I'm gonna cut him. Like, what is going on? These your people, Jay.
Like I said, I'm a recovering Knicks fan. I'm a Lakers fan. I'm a Laker fan. I turned in my Knicks apparel and everything already back in 08, so I'm good.
That's tough. Well, you might say, why did I bring that up? Considering the fact that this is ring theory, we talking about wrestling over here. Well, I'm here plotting and scheming because we have something on the horizon in New York, New Jersey, and so I would love to see the Knicks lose in Game 7. I want all that heat to be built up by the fans in New York, because WWE is going to give them an outlet to release all that heat, because at the end of the season, in August, what do we have the potential of? Halliburton versus Brunson. Halliburton being the most hated person in that stadium. Everybody getting to release all that NBA Finals loss, because he gonna do some type of hand motion, some type of signature at the end when they win, and it's gonna break it's gonna be a riot for one. People gonna be mad in New York. Pray for New York, but also it's gonna be the issue of we need an outlet to release all this heat, and so we gonna give it to you through pro wrestling, like Triple H said. It's like we wrote it. Like, come on, it's right there for you. So, but that's all current. That's happening right now. We'll see where the NBA Finals plays out. But I'm wearing this shirt right now to represent not the Pacers, because I know I got Pacers colors on right now. So that's not the theme. It's for my man Ricky Saints, because RIP to that WrestleMania in New Orleans, y'all. WrestleMania 42 is now no longer going to be in New Orleans. It's now taking itself, well, we don't know yet, but potentially back to Las Vegas. And for that, that's a big L for me, y'all. I'm not rocking with this decision. I was excited for New Orleans. Like, that was actually kind of getting and excited for a travel perspective, not excited for the perspective of they just had 2 WrestleManias not too long ago. And so why are we going to give them a third WrestleMania within like a 15-year span? Like, what happened to London? Like, I'll take the trip to London. Like, I'll be on that next year if they do it. Like, take it somewhere else. And so there's the potential of it going elsewhere. I hope other places are bidding. I hope other places are trying, and I hope it's not Vegas, because I get that the TKO board of directors love that it's in their region and it's in their place, but Vegas was good. I'm recovering. I'm still recovering from Vegas. Like, I'm good. I'm not going back. I'll watch it. Well, we moving. So if you see some boxes in the background, it won't be this background, but we will be watching it from that TV and that couch. So it is what it is. But how do y'all feel about the news and the decision? Are you excited? Are you saddened? What's your reaction to this?
Ray, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. It really doesn't move me one way or the other. I mean, when we talk about cities who've had WrestleMania, like multiple WrestleManias, like New Orleans had multiple WrestleManias. When we talk about WrestleMania 30, and I think they had one, I think even sooner than that, or even more recently than that, like within the past, like 5-7 years. So, I mean, it doesn't really make a difference to me. I am intrigued about who's in the running. I would love for it to be in Vegas, because I didn't get a chance to go to Vegas this past year. And Vegas, I love going to Vegas. I have some friends out there. So I would love to get an opportunity to go out there and hang out with some folks. But I think the story that we're not looking at is, and I think it was before you brothers' time here at Nefarious, when I think there was some reports that Minnesota, and this was before it was revealed that Las Vegas was going to have this year, but there were reports that Minnesota wanted a WrestleMania. And so now that New Orleans is out of the running for next year, I don't know, man. Minnesota, here we come. I think they might finally get. I think they had gotten like a consolation deal. I think they were gonna send like a money in the bank or something to them this year or something like that. But I don't know. Maybe they back in the running. Maybe that Minnesota money is longer than we once thought. So it'll be intriguing to see who's going to get this one. London, I think, would be a good choice as well, seeing as though I don't know if they're going to be doing all in Wembley in London next year, since they're doing like the Forbidden Door stuff there this year. So I think it would be intriguing.
Man, I really feel bad for with WrestleMania relocating. I feel bad for all the independent promotions, man, that already got plans and booked
Yeah.
booked rooms and booked, different places for their shows or whatever, because they can't just uproot and say, hey, you know what? Because WrestleMania and WWE's not going to be here, we got to go follow where, WrestleMania is going to be out for the weekend. So they just can't cancel and find another spot to, have their shows independently. So that's who I really, really have a, hard time. I feel bad for them, that's a reality for them now. They waking up and like, oh shoot, now what? How we gonna pivot? Because that's a whole another animal that they have to deal with, So that's I feel for that. So on the flip side, I would like for the if they're going to consider going to London or somewhere in Europe where they've had all these different Raws and the energy of the crowds was just different. I would like to see that. You've seen how AEW's had their all-in shows in London, and you see how hot the crowds are over there. Maybe WWE wants a taste of that, or maybe they just might want to go back to Vegas. So who knows? But my preference is go somewhere you haven't been. Minnesota, that really, no offense to Minnesota, but it's still kind of chilly out there. I'm a tropical creature, so I would much rather go somewhere else. Not saying that London is like the most tropical spot either, but the energy would, definitely raise the temperature in the room, if you know what I'm saying.
I thought London was already going to be a potential for WrestleMania 42 off the fact that WWE loves to just break records, shut people down, do all this. And so I thought their goal was to go and beat the turnstile count for All In. And then have them automatically then take that record, because I'm sure if they put a WrestleMania in that building, and they set it to capacity over, like, to do that or more, I'm sure they could fill it for whatever reason. And even if they played the games with the tickets and reduce some of the ticket costs at certain sections to make sure they could fill it, just to then have the record, I could see them doing that.
And the other thing about it too is TNA's presence in the European Union is major, and with WWE's affiliation with TNA, you're gonna get some of those fans like, oh, maybe we might be able to see somebody like a Joe Hendry show up, or somebody from the TNA roster, where they got major roots over there. That might be a play for you too. So that's something to consider.
Hey, by Mania 42, Hendry might be in the company already, wrestling as a talent.
Main roster.
They have now taken from TNA. I wouldn't be surprised if they were going to do that. I think homie's already contracted. Because he's marketable. He was everywhere this past WrestleMania weekend. Like, the fact that I was going show to show and he was going show to show with us, I was just like, that's crazy. Like, this man is the hardest working man in TNA World Championship history. I've never seen another world champion make so many random appearances at so many different shows. Like, this man was cooking. So, and then WrestleMania. Who else did that? Come on. Hardest working TNA champion out there. What are we talking about? But that's WrestleMania 42. And, I will stay tuned to it. I'm hoping I'm in the lane with Jay. Take it somewhere else. I hope that Brother Ray gets his Vegas trip very soon to go see his people, but I hope they take it somewhere else. But what comes after WrestleMania? That's Backlash, y'all. And so we're going to cover this year's Backlash, where we had John Cena, possibly for the last time, against Randy Orton for the WWE Championship, with one Brother Truth getting in the ring to play a little distraction at the end. How do we feel about the circumstances of that main event? How do you feel about, was this it for you? Were you, I was about to say fed, but fed's not the title, not the term I'm looking for. Did you feel satisfied by the end of this? As one, as the Schuyler sisters would say in Hamilton, are you satisfied with this?
Me personally, I think the card overall, I kind of like how R-Truth got involved, because I was like, okay, how are they've done every possible finish that they could do for a Randy Orton John Cena match. We've seen them all. And then they surprised me and bring R-Truth in there. And I hope this is the match coming up on Saturday night's main event. I hope they give R-Truth more than 5 minutes with Cena, because I think, I'm jumping the gun just a little bit. R-Truth is a great talent, and his pedigree, his history is, he's got a Hall of Fame career. And I hope they do him right by, going more than 5 minutes with John Cena, even though, that's his childhood hero, But I think going back to the match with Orton and Cena, I didn't like it that much. I wish I could have liked it more, because I know this is the last time we're going to see something like this. It didn't have that. It really didn't feel that much that special to me, if you will.
Ray, how do you feel about it, man?
That's it. I mean, it was another John Cena Randy Orton match, I guess. I mean, yeah, and then the way they kind of had the angle, not only with R-Truth in the match, but also like in the press conference, it kind of seemed like it was forced a little bit, because I think you were eventually going to get John Cena kind of destroying R-Truth, but I think, yeah, it just seemed like in that particular moment in the press conference, I feel as though it was like that's all it took. Like I wish he would have like destroyed, because they had an interaction with each other, I think at the SmackDown, I think it was, prior to Backlash. And I thought even then, like, I thought John Cena was gonna like just mob and destroy R-Truth. And I think it should have been brutal. It shouldn't have been just, it shouldn't have just been an AA through the table. I think it should have been a mauling if you really want to convey this new character. And I think maybe I'll pose a question to you guys that we kind of posed to one another on NWA from this past Sunday, wherever you find your podcast post wrestling. How do you guys feel about this turn right now? Like, I know, of course, everybody's going to say the actual turn was epic, but the development of the turn afterwards, I think, has kind of been lackluster in my opinion. And I don't think this did any favors. I think John Salad John Cena is trying to make chicken salad out of chicken scratch right now. Um, I think he's doing his best, but I just don't think he has it in him to be a genuine villain. Like I think he's just trying to run through all the motions that he would see a villain. It was like, oh, like make a kid cry, check. Like dismiss the fans, tell the fans that they're not worth anything, check. Like I think he's just going through like a to-do list for heels, but he's not genuinely trying to show through his character that he's changed as a person, as a character. So and I won't be as harsh as brother Chris, who's just like, change your music, change the stupid music, get out, stop wearing your jorts, just shut up. But I'm like, we gotta see some, like, if you're going to evolve into this new character, we gotta see like some actual evolution and not just words. And not just, oh, I cheated in the match. Oh, check. Kicked him in the nuts. Oh, check. Like, we got to see some real, actual motivation behind why you're doing this. And of course, still no Dwayne. Like, we still don't know what's going on with Dwayne. And we still don't know what's happening as far as like this whole thing. No Travis Scott, thank goodness. Not this time. But I guess they had to put in a brother for a brother with R-Truth.
Stop putting brothers in these matches, for one. That's my issue. Stop putting brothers to take the heat, man. Why we got to be the clown show for everybody to be mad at or laugh at? Nah, For me, yes, I keep having this one voice when I think about the John Cena heel turn, but I've kind of already been on this island prior to it coming this way. But is this what you want? But that is this what you want? That Chris Tucker? That's exactly what I just keep hearing in my head because it's like, what have we gotten from this? This was not a compelling turn. The turn itself in the one moment live in stadium was amazing, but we have not done. If it was going to be the story of insecurities, and you know what, I'm the man who didn't communicate that y'all were hurting my feelings, and it's finally boiled over. Cool, but like also the timing of it doesn't make sense because we were chill with you, Cena. So like the turn was not ready. If he would have just lost at Mania, we could have recovered this, and it could have been the redemption road already. But now it's just Bully John, and you know who I feel like I'm watching right now. I feel like I'm watching John in Fast 9, and I didn't like John in Fast 9. He was not a compelling.
The older Toretto.
I've got a mean face.
Wow.
You're mean, Dom. I'm gonna kill you, Dom. I'm just somebody with hurt feelings. I'm over it now. I want to be a part of the family again. Like, I feel that. And I don't feel Peacemaker. I mean Peacemaker from the Suicide Squad, because at a certain point, there's such a villainy in John in that movie that he does play an actual compelling villain. Even somebody that doesn't want to do the actions that he's doing, but this sense of justice that you would later find his daddy put into him and all of that. That's what he's following in this moment, in this movie. And so like you could see why he thinks he's just so right in this moment. It's hard to see the John Cena heel character in WWE and how he can see himself being right in this moment or in any of the previous moments, because it feels like a complete 180 from the Cena we know, without like the reveal of like, it's me, Austin, it's me, all I've been doing this whole, like, it's not that behavior track that we've seen from Cena. So like, I don't know. I've never been a fan of this, like this route that we've been going, and I don't think I think the opponents are not making this compelling either. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. And then I think you stack the match quality on top of that, and we're really struggling with this turn. I think this was one of the best John Cena and Randy Orton matches we've had in a while. But like, I remember those matches back then. I've lived a lot of that, and I have that memory still to this day. And I hated a lot of those matches. Yeah. I didn't hate this, but I think also when you take a break from chicken after a while and you go back to it, chicken tastes just fine. So like, it was great. So Jay, like, how do you, to Ray's question, how do you feel, man? Like, how do you feel about this heel turn?
The first thing that came to my mind was on Raw. They showed a promo video of when Cena he was wrestling Michael Cole. You guys remember seeing that montage? Okay. If you muted the crowd, Cena was a heel to Michael Cole. He's always been the same guy. I mean, he was picking on a non-wrestler, and he was just abusing this man. I mean, for good, bad, or indifferent, whatever. Michael Cole was a bit of a jerk then, but whatever. If you put it on mute, knowing what we know today, 10 years ago, Cena was bullying other people. I mean, he's been talking down to other people, saying, you can't keep up with me, you can't see me, whatever. That's fine. But he's always been a heel. And so to push back a little bit on Ray, I mean, would I like to see him like have more deeper layers of, hey, look, you guys hurt my feelings, so you want to see the real John Cena? I'm not wishing anybody a happy birthday. I'm not wishing sick kids get well or anything like that. I'm going to do me. I'm going to be as selfish because y'all drove me to this. I would love to see that. But at the same time, as much as I would love to see that, and so many other people would probably like to see that, he's going to start getting cheered again, because that's the way us as fans are. It's like, we want to see you do bad, do bad, do bad. Oh, you're cool now. And I think that's what's going to happen. So I think with Cena saying that he's going to ruin wrestling, he's intentionally doing exactly what we don't want him to do in order to get this kind of response. But the response, instead of being passionate about it, is more indifference, especially from my side.
And the thing is, Jay, when you mention, I think you were talking about him kind of being the same character. I think, like, in some ways, because he actually started it, well, not started his career with the ruthless aggression, but once he started doing the rap stuff, like he was a heel then. And so, to your point, Girard, when you're talking about, oh, he pretty much, like, he hasn't really evolved too much, or when you were talking about him being like a heel back then as well, or like 10 years ago. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm trying to think of something. Like, I had something in my mind, but I just think, yeah, it's just he, and I think Nate was kind of saying, or I think it was Chris rather, who was kind of saying he thinks John, he doesn't think John is phoning it in, but he thinks John is kind of like going by a script, and he's not using like his creative power to veto stuff. But I don't know. Oh, this is what I was thinking of. When you talk about him eventually getting cheered, he's getting cheered now. Like he's getting, like, I think they were cheering for him at Backlash, and that's supposed to be Randy Orton's hometown. And so, but I think you kind of do see like some, like you do see some glimpses of him kind of feeling remorse, because I think as he was walking out, like I think he did a pause, and I think it was kind of like not a Ric Flair style tear in his eye, but I think it's like he was getting kind of emotional, and then as he was heading up the ramp, he kind of hesitated before he did like the whole backwards title thing. So I think we're already seeing kind of glimpses of him kind of going back to that guy, because I think, even though you guys do mention like he had shades of heelness, but I think some of the good guys, like especially within like either the Attitude Era or the Ruthless Aggression era, like I just saw a match that they put out on WWE Vault with Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy, and it kind of reminded me, I think it was an I Quit match between those two, and it reminded me of the I Quit match that John Cena had with Batista, where Batista, before he gets AA'd like through the stage, he was like, I quit. But then John Cena still threw him through the cage. And
John Cena been a heel.
Yeah, but on the same token, I think Matt Hardy was supposed to be playing the heel against his brother, but he's tied to a table, and his brother is up on a ladder about to do like the leg drop to him through the table, and Matt is like, I love you, Dad wouldn't want it this way. Quit.
See, that was different. That was different because Matt killed Jeff's dog in storyline, so we not gonna just, we can't just forget that. Nah, you ain't gonna just say I quit, and that's it. Nah. And that twist of fate at WrestleMania through the with my neck through the chair. Nah, forget all that. I didn't forget that. Nah, Jeff got his just desserts. He made sure to get his get back. So nah, I ain't mad at that. But when it comes to the other big things of Backlash, we had Gunther defeat McAfee in an all right match. We thumbsing up, thumbsing down. Yeah,
I give it a thumbs up. I give it a thumbs up.
Pretty good.
The story was better than the wrestling. I'll give him that.
The most compelling thing, I think, is the respect after, and the fact that Gunther gave that so easily and so fast. Because I don't know, with the tease of Logan Paul and all this, that we keep teasing this almost babyface, righteous Gunther of like, yeah, I'm the ring general, but like I respect the ring and all that comes with it. So like I want to do this the right way. Jay beat me. I don't want to beat you, Logan. I want to beat Jay. So we June 9th, I believe, is the Raw after Money in the Bank, and that is where Gunther will get his world title shot against whoever wins. We'll get to that in the next in the mid card point of this, but Then we had, faction warfare mania because we had Dominic Mysterio and Penta. Dominic beating Penta, but now Judgment Day is now introducing a new person, and on the other side, staying with the bloodline, we got JC Mateo joining after making his debut. The former Jeff Cobb making his debut at Backlash to help Brother Fatu secure his United States Championship. So Solo bringing JC Mateo in, and Finn bringing in Roxanne Perez, both with some nefarious intentions. How y'all thinking? How do y'all feel about these things coming up?
I don't like the name JC Mateo. However, I'm willing to forgive it just to let him cook for a little bit, because man, when he made his debut, I screamed on my couch.
Really?
I was excited. I was like, yo, this is crazy. I mean, I was hoping somebody would come through. I didn't know if it was going to be him. I didn't know if it was going to be Talatonga. I didn't know if he could let whoever, you know what I'm saying? But when I saw, that fire hydrant of a man just come through and just, interfere, I was like, yo, okay. Now I see y'all cooking now. So I was excited to see that. On Monday, I like the story that they're starting to tell with Finn bringing in Roxanne, especially with Liv being out for a little bit, and just seeing how the inner dynamics of the power struggle within the Judgment Day, and how that's starting to play out, and I'm very curious to see how this story is going to be told and in the direction they're going to take with that. So for both, I give both of them a thumbs up for that. So that is very compelling TV that's being showcased to us.
All right. How about you, Ray?
Well, I was also pretty excited when I saw Jeff Cobb, aka JC Jose Mateo, break out. I'm gonna keep saying that until other people start getting it, be like, wait a minute. But yeah, I was pretty excited to see him a part of it, and I know some people like he ain't Samoan. Whatever. Like I think they're kind of moving out of with this particular group. I think they're kind of moving out of like being the Bloodline 2.0, and I think especially with Tama Tonga and Tongaloa being on the shelf right now, I think Solo is trying to create something new that's not directly tied to the family, but still his intentions are to defend his family. And so I think it's an interesting wrinkle. But like having him like Mateo, I think the Backlash thing was pretty good, but fast forward to the SmackDown after where you had this man beat LA Knight. It's like, oh, are we putting a rocket on his back that fast? Okay. Like I thought some shenanigans were gonna go down at least and be like a DQ and like some other stuff happened. But in terms of Roxanne, I don't know, because I think the way they've been kind of juggling Roxanne is like first year in the feud with Bailey, then you teaming up with Julia, and then you're going against Io Sky, and then you're going against Rhea, and now you're in the Judgment Day. It's like I don't know if they know what to do with her. I'm kind of over the whole. Oh, the doggone, Dominic Mysterio, he a manhole, so he gonna hop on whatever the gravy train is. He a sugar baby, so he just gonna hop on whatever the train is. Like, come on, man. How many times we're gonna get over? Like, we're gonna do this. Oh, he gets seduced by this woman, and then this woman comes in, and then she seduces her, and then this woman comes in and she seduces. Like, I'm kind of over that particular aspect, although it was a good move on Roxanne's part with the chicken nuggets. They're not chicken tendies, though. He didn't call her out on that. He all about the chicken tendies. But yeah, I think it's kind of interesting, but it's kind of also the same thing they've already been doing as far as with the Judgment Day stuff, and with Finn trying to kind of sneak behind somebody. It's like it's a similar thing that Finn was doing when Rhea and Priest were in the Judgment Day, and it was kind of like that's how Liv got in this, because he was kind of like the snake in the grass. He was kind of like the man inside the house who was letting them in through the back door. So yeah, I just think that it's kind of like they're doing a retread. They're doing a retread, and they don't know what to do with Roxanne Perez, who I think is kind of beyond this. Like I think she should at least right now be in the mold of going after like a Lyra Valkyria, or working in some mode against whoever like the mid-level women's champion is right now. I think, and in the future, we all know, I think she's like a future like world champion. So, all right, but you got to start somewhere, I guess.
I like it. I love. Well, I'm gonna start with the Fatal 4-Way. I love the Fatal 4-Way match. I love the
Oh
fact
yeah,
that we were able to have Fatu retain, having JC Mateo debut, also pushing him strong with that LA Knight win. I agree. It's a good way out the gate to establish my man's. I love the fact that we're pivoting to a match as Saturday Night's main event to close out Priest and Drew, and they had their own little way to exit out that match as well.
I like
So
that. Mm-hmm.
I like what we got out of that. Dominic Mysterio in the Penta match, and this is probably the thing I'm gonna spend the most time on. Yeah, I thought that match was such a raw match on the actual pay-per-view, and it did not need to be on there. Something else could have been on that show. But jump to that Raw segment with him and Roxanne and the the chicken nuggets. You are playing on a dog that his loyalties
Mm-hmm.
is to who has the treats. And if you know
Mm-hmm.
that, here's the fun fact: Finn made this dog in the first place.
Yep.
Because who got Rhea to go get Dom in the first place?
Yep.
It was Finn. Finn's always been the manipulator since the
Yep.
beginning. Finn got Edge out of there.
Yep.
Because if you go back to that Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, AJ, Finn, and Liv all at different moments had Edge beat. And so when they talked about, oh, we talked the night after and we need to just get rid of the last thing that was a weakness, it was them talking about Edge because Edge had to constantly be saved by Rhea, by Priest throughout that entire match. And Finn was one of the ones constantly having Edge beat. That's how he got his way into the group to get Edge out the group. That's then later on, Rhea to go get Dom, to then later to go get Liv to get Rhea out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And now Liv is outlived her usefulness. See there, and it's time for her to go too. And the fan support for Liv, she is at her best now. She is at her peak of her career. She's cruising. She's been knocking it out match wise. Her match and output has just increased, and she's been really doing great this year and all last year with her world title reign in those matches. So I think it's time for her babyface turn. And what better way to have it be against Roxanne? And so what if Roxanne is going to be I don't think Raquel's just so easily gonna go with Liv either. I can easily see Raquel. I can see it being the Hispanic faction, man. And not the LWO, but I can see that the Dom almost creating his own version of the LWO if he was going to mirror his own little Eddie Guerrero path. He's won the IC title. He's been a tag champion. He just keeps going up that path. Like I can see him following the Eddie Guerrero blueprint of his actual career. He doesn't just use the frog splash. He doesn't just use the three amigos. I see him going the whole way. And so what if Roxanne, him, and Raquel, that's the group right there out of this. Raquel then has a heavy to go get that IC title or the world title, but then you have her feuding with Liv that pushes her up Liv is a main eventer for the women's division. So you're automatically then having Raquel get that spot, not Raquel, Roxanne get that spot and then have that shine. So like I think that's a big positive for her that could come out of this. I hate that she has to play the girl on the arm for a little bit because I don't think she's earned jumping that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Especially when you have her be the last in the Royal Rumble, when you have her in the Elimination Chamber and all that. She's already up there with the main eventers in those scenes. Maybe you want to call this a main event storyline, because I do also think this is the end of the Judgment Day. I think this clock is ticking, because with this third introduction, I think it's now Finn and JD go off on their own. Maybe Carlito stays because maybe Carlito keeps hitting on Raquel and he actually eventually wins. Like maybe she gives him a look, like, and then Braun comes back to get Carlito. Who knows? But what do y'all like? I think this could be a good storyline for Roxanne. Good, all these R names, man. Roxanne in the end, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. I'm hoping for the best for her. And speaking of the IC title, I don't want to overlook her, because I already did it once before, thinking she's just going to drop it to Becky. Lyra picks up the dub, beats Becky in a very good, to me, the best match of the show in ring wise content. Lyra versus Becky for the IC title. Thumbs up, thumbs down with this, y'all?
I get a thumbs up.
And then my question to you is, all the way up.
Like Fat Joe.
When's Bailey coming back? Right.
Well, I don't know, because it's like, did they really do like an injury angle with her? Like, I think on her social media, she's posted like videos of her working out and getting back in, but I don't think anybody mentioned like a legit injury that she's had. So I don't know. I think maybe I know with Becky kind of doing this whole, oh, I'm gonna bury you, like get buried by the man gimmick now. I think she has to Bailey eventually has to like face Becky at some point. Maybe at Money in the Bank, or because I don't think Becky is in any qualifying matches for the women's Money in the Bank. I don't think so. I don't know, maybe Money in the Bank, or maybe SummerSlam. I'm thinking.
Wasn't Becky in a triple threat recently?
She was
like
on
this
Monday.
last Raw.
Yeah.
Then,
that's when Roxanne wanted to qualify for the Money in the Bank.
Becky was in that match?
Yeah, Becky was in that match, and Lyra interfered.
Came and beat her up. Did they do a last chance thing? I don't think so, because I think with that beat up, I think that just tells us where we're going is the IC rematch, probably at Money in the Bank in Los Angeles.
Yeah, my thought is that run in tells me that they're going to go running back again. Becky by hook or by crook, in my mind, would get the IC belt, and leads into Bailey coming back, and then at SummerSlam they go for the IC title.
You think we can drag it out that far, past Evolution and all that as well? Because Evolution supposedly is in July.
Oh, if they're gonna do it, I mean, it's gonna happen in the summertime, whether it's at Evolution or at SummerSlam. But I think that would be the roadmap, at least in my mind. That's what I would do.
Okay, I like that.
Oh, gentlemen, I just wanted to inform you we have a guest awaiting.
Well, play the entrance music so we can have a man come out to the ring.
Well, I don't know. I know this brother, he would prefer the Outcast, but I know he also doesn't want to get us demonetized. Well, we ain't monetized yet, but he also knows these doggone YouTube bandits are around here lurking. So we're
grand
gonna
opening,
go ahead.
grand closing.
Yes.
Look at.
We're gonna bring the co-owner and co-proprietor of Nefarious Media Network, the good brother, the Godfather, Nate Milton.
Hooty hoo!
What's going on, fellas? What's going on?
Out here for everything.
How you doing, man?
Out here for Ring Theory. You know, some people would say Ring Theory is like the Around the Horn of pro wrestling podcast, and you can't have Around the Horn without Woody Page. So I guess I'll be Black Woody Page. I'll be your Huckleberry on that front. But yeah, I'm here. I caught a little bit of what you guys were talking about when I was getting in from work. Y'all doing a great job, man. This is episode 2, Ray Williams, episode 2. And like that man said a long time ago, we go through episodes 2 like Attack of the Clones.
I wish I would have thought of that. I wish I
would. What's going on, boys?
Hey, we doing good. We was actually about to pivot our way to the main event, Saturday night's main event, that is. So, the steel cage match, if you will. We're going to start with Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Brother Nate, how are you feeling about this feud? Who do you think needs to win this the most? Is it going to be Priest? It's going to be Drew.
So in comedy, there's this thing. If you frequent TV tropes, which like for a while I was on a real big TV tropes binge, Jay. Like that was like my go-to, just spending hours upon hours going through different shows, or different video games, or different novels and movies, and just getting into the tropes that make up the fiction that we consume. And there's a trope in comedy called the rule of 3, where like if you tell a joke one time, it's funny. If you tell a joke the second time, it's like, I'm not here for that joke. And then you tell the joke the third time, and it's like, aha, it's funny again. That's how I feel about this feud, Girard. Like when it first started popping off, I was like, okay, I'm here for it. It got to a point where I feel like it kind of dragged for a bit. Then that match at Mania hit, and I was like, okay, I'm invested now. And they still got some juice in the tank for this. So I'm glad they're running it back one last time. I still don't know who I'm going with. I'm probably going with Drew, just because I feel like, particularly if Drew is to be a potential 4th member for the Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, LeBron Breaker team, then he needs to win. He needs a win. I'm sorry to our guy, Punishment Martinez on these streets, but I think it's gonna be a fun match, man. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, what's your take on this, Girard? Like, do you feel like, because this has to be the conclusive end of this feud? So who do you think takes it?
I think it's Drew, because we cannot have Drew going through these long feuds and losing both of them, because he went through that whole feud with Punk.
Yep.
And it ended with them in a cage-like match. And though great match, 5-star match, Drew lost, and Drew had to recover from that. I feel like Drew's recovery feud is partially what we are in currently. So like the man needs to get the dub in the end. Because you're correct. I want him in that 4. Throw up the Fantastic 4. So because it's time for Drew to join, but because I think the Overlord Dwayne is the one in the background looking over that. If you saw them walking in Raw last week, you saw The Rock looking over their shoulder in the background. It's the Rock's group. So,
oh my goodness,
who had the red phone? Who had the red phone?
There go the ring theory.
It's the wise man. Come on, man. Come on. Ring theories. But I think we need to get Drew where he needs to be. How about mid-card Jey Lacey, man? How you thinking about this?
I think Drew's taking it as well too. Drew, I think they've got some big plans, major plans for him, and I think setting up a dominant win over Damian Priest only sets those plans in motion. I didn't have him on the super squad that you were talking about, but the more and more I hear you talking about it, the more and more I'm like, okay, that does make sense. But he's got to get over to the Raw side to make that happen. So. I do like that. They do need like a heavy for that particular group. And anytime that you have a faction within WWE, you do have to have a monster type character. And I think Braun is close to that, but I think Drew is actually that guy now. So the more you say that, the more you're leaning more in towards that. But I think for this feud, it's gonna be Drew McIntyre.
Brother Jay, or Brother Girard, rather, I agree with you. I think that Drew has to get the win in the end. Only problem, Saturday not going to be the end, my brothers. I think Drew already has the dub from WrestleMania. I think Priest will get the dub this Saturday night, and I think there's going to be like a rubber match, and I think then Drew will get the dub because first off, what else you gonna put either one of them in right now? I mean, and again, I don't know if either of these brothers had the triple threat or were in any of the triple threat qualifying matches to go on. I think was Drew in that one with Solo or no? I don't think he was in that one. But I think these guys can face each other one more time, and it's going to be another stipulation because again, even though the cage is similar to Hell in a Cell, cage matches aren't necessarily like the end all be all. We kind of saw it with CM Punk and Seth Rollins, where it was like Roman got inserted and it's like it carried that on to something different, but it wasn't necessarily the end between those two gentlemen. So I think that Priest will get the dub here, and then it's going to be like a winner take all type bout, and then that's when I could see the Vision as I've termed them as far as the visionary Seth and his minions getting involved. So
hold on, Ray Williams. Hold on. I see an opportunity for some synergy here, right? Some cross property synergy. So if you're gonna call this group the Vision, right? Okay. I'm a yes and you, Ray Williams.
All right.
So we got Seth Rollins. We got LeBron Breaker. We got the wise man Paul Heyman, and potentially Drew McIntyre. Okay,
right.
The Vision. Over in the Marvel universe, right? We had WandaVision. If you remember that series, Jey Lacey, at the end of the series, we went to the ship of Theseus, Girard, and in the ship of Theseus, White Vision took off. So we come back to the WWE. All four of the members of this group happen to be traditional. We gonna call them the White Vision. Hello.
I knew he was.
What a theory that is. What a cook up that one.
I see the rope connecting now.
Brothers, if you weren't tuning in on Sunday, he was pretty much doing this all episode. He was just stringing things together.
I was getting ready. See, you thought I was at work all day, Ray. I was actually in the kitchen getting ready to cook these theories up.
Hey, no, that's a theory, man. That's a theory. You definitely had the Mr. Fantastic stretch the arm when you were stretching for it because you reaching, my brother. Hey, I go with the White Vision. I go with the White Vision. But what a pivot, because that's the next match we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. Where are we going with this, y'all? Because I would love to see my man Philip Seymour Hoffman Brooks get the dub in this match, but we got a new group on hand, on deck. So we got to give them a dub. We got to establish them, and Braun's ripping through somebody, in my opinion. And I think Seth might be. I think Braun's going to be the one doing the big lifting in this match to then lead to Seth getting that dub. So almost Batista style in Evolution and Triple H getting the dub after. So, but how do y'all feel about this? We're gonna kick it off with Ray. Who do you have winning this match, and where do you think this is gonna lead us to next?
Yeah, I agree. I think Rollins and Breaker are going to get the dub on this one. I think you can put. I think we've already seen Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn in the ring against each other with that feud that they had for the Intercontinental Championship a few months ago, if not about a year ago. Like, they have great chemistry together. I think, and again, we talked about this on Sunday. Zayn is that lovable loser, so you know that he can eat the fall while still having a crowd behind him because he's so resilient. So I think we do get Rollins and Breaker with the win. Where it goes from here, not sure. Like, again, we've kind of intimated, and maybe we'll kind of talk about this once we get into the main event as well. We've kind of seen like Jey, Sammy, and Punk be on one accord against Braun, Seth, and Paul Heyman. So I mean, it's not obvious, but it seems like pretty much a shoo-in to get that third member in to be aligned with Seth Rollins' group, so that I don't know, maybe you have like a big brawl or something at the end. I don't know if someone gets involved as far as like Heyman maybe getting involved in cheating and doing some dastardly deeds, maybe getting a chair involved or something like that. But yeah, I see Breakker and Rollins coming out with the W.
Okay. Nate, how about you, man?
Yeah, the most likely outcome is Seth and LeBron take this win here. But I think there's another outcome that could happen as well, and that's a schmoz. Because we've been really focused on Drew McIntyre being the guy that joins the traditional vision, if you will. And I think that is still a likely possibility, Girard. But who's to say he's the only one? Because even if he joins you, then all you've done is even the odds.
Yeah.
And traditionally, heels have had the advantage in terms of the numbers game. So we can still have Drew join eventually, but what if we get a new member revealed at Saturday night's main event? Somebody that's not on our radar right now. True. And that is what leads to like matches thrown out, but we see Sammy and Punk laid out. Jay's got to come in to make the save, but we've really continued to establish this group because that's what this match is all about. Like we are progressing the story, yes, but we still want to solidify Seth and Braun and Heyman. And so, yeah, like I think it could just be a straight up win, by nefarious means, if you will. But to get the most bang for the buck, particularly on a Saturday night's main event where wins and losses kind of don't matter, except for the matches where they do. You could do like a big schmoz finish where the Muffin Man and Sammy have the advantage, and then we get I don't know who shows up. Like anybody could show up in terms of being another potential member for this group. So I'm intrigued by it, though. That's the best thing you could say about it. As Chris said Sunday on the NWA podcast, I am much more intrigued to see what's going on with this group than what is going on with John Cena, who should be, the titular lead storyline in this company right now. And so that's a credit to Heyman and Punk and Rollins and all these cats. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun match. Obviously, the bad guys win in some way, shape, or form. Even if they don't win on the record books, Jey Lacey, they're going to win by putting belts to asses on our heroes here.
Agreed. I also think that, the heels are going to win on this one as well, too. Hate to see it, but I mean, Sami Zayn's probably going to end up eating the pin. And I don't know if they're going to introduce a third person to this feud, but I would be greatly intrigued if they do. But it could be planting seeds too for Sami Zayn to slowly make his turn to join either the squad with Seth Rollins or LeBron Breakker, as you call him, or he could just be the independent guy that kind of floats in between not joining them, but not siding with CM Punk either. Because I don't see him and Punk really meshing to get along. I think that Zayn, and the only reason Zayn's really involved with Punk is due to his friendship with Jey Uso. So I think they're just the enemy of my enemy is conveniently my friend at this point. I don't see that bond being too strong between him and Punk. So again, I think the Seth Rollins and Braun Breakker are going to win this one.
I've been inspired. You all have inspired me. And this is where we're going to go with it. Here's the theory, y'all. Let's rock. Let's rock.
Let them cook.
This is going to be a Smosh Fest. It is going to go to that. No, throw that image back up. Throw that image back up because I like that image being there for that. So, yeah. It's going to be a Smosh Fest. There will be no winner of this match because this is going to lead us to some future pay-per-view matches. We're going to have a future Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins come to the altar match. And this is going to be his come to Jesus moment of, you know what, can I really beat these people or not? And I'm going to mirror something from AEW, his time in AEW, because I do believe we're going to get a CM Punk versus Braun Breaker in that Wardlow style match. Where I think, but this time, I think Punk lays on his back and takes the pin. Where he rolled up Wardlow and snuck that out at the very end, so it was a survival. I don't think it's going to be that. But I think those are potentially 2 Money in the Bank matches coming up for you right there. I think the end game for this is that match between Seth and Sammy is going to break Sammy in a way. Sammy is going to then depart because him and his bond with Punk ain't there. And so he needs to go on his own journey of self-discovery, because to join the Vision would not be it. Because we've seen him do that with the Bloodline. And for me to then cheer you after you making the mistake of joining a group again and making that same foolish mistake, you didn't learn your lesson from the Bloodline, it's not the same thing. Like, it's not going to be the same lovable babyface turn out of you joining the Vision. I see you winning the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. So if that's going to be the case next year, we might have to sting you for a little bit, where you kind of like, you're in the rafters, you sad, you have a match here or there, get on this comeback journey leading up into the Royal Rumble, because then his ire is going to be Seth again. Because, yeah, you might have broke me that last match, but I'm winning the Rumble, and I need to stop you, because I should have stopped you when I had the chance in May. But I didn't have the confidence then, but I'm back. And I've had a coming to Allah moment, and it's time. So we're going to do the thing. And so I think that's you're watching the makings of one of the nights of WrestleMania's main event, or at least world title matches, right here and right now in this tag match. Where Punk is at that point, I don't know. But, and who's to say Punk doesn't sneak it off Rollins for a month reign for Rollins to get it right back from him, just to give Punk something to save face. But
the Lex Luger in your analogy.
Indeed. But I think the sting in this one for sure will be Seth Rollins.
Okay. I like, as soon as you started going down that path, Girard, I immediately thought of Darby Allin's daddy in this situation. I was like, yeah, they can totally take that and bring it to a modern context. And also from a real world perspective, having Sami Zayn win the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, that's
crazy.
That's deep.
What a reaction. They are going to love that. That is no better of a homegrown star for that community to have than Sami Zayn coming out there, can cut a promo after in the like, just to feed that crowd. Like, it would be an amazing scene. And I think you have the worry of like, oh, if Sammy wins a Rumble, will people boo or cheer? Well, we saw this year with Jey, the mid-carder being moved up. Jey Lacey, I believe in you. You get that Rumble, it's main event Jey Lacey, man. You gonna be there, man. Ain't nobody gonna hold you down, man. Sammy gonna hit that, and this is going to be the journey to fully make Sammy a world heavyweight champion. And the funny thing about it is, it's Seth's fault, because he told Sammy, "Hey, you should think a little bit more about you."
Yep.
And that was a while ago, before all this foolishness. So it was the catalyst, and yeah, it couldn't have been his mania this year, but we gonna see him coming up the next year. But to talk about his homie, he's facing Logan Paul, Saturday night's main event. What we rocking with that? Are we going with Jay? Or are we going with Logan? And if you say Logan, we might need to just remove you from the chat for a little bit. But go ahead, we'll give you time to defend yourself for the removal. But please tell us who you got in this one. Let's go with Jey Lacey, my man.
Oh, it's gonna be. No, I'm playing. It's gonna be Jay. I can't even say that with a straight face. I can't even say it with a straight face, man. Even if I was sponsored by Prime, I couldn't say it with a straight face. I think it's going to be an athletic match, because Logan Paul has been putting on good matches. I mean, for somebody who was not brought up into the system, he's an athlete. You can't take that away from him. He is somewhat entertaining. He does, some things I was like, kind of cringeworthy, but he does put on some good matches. And I think him and Jey are going to have a good match. But he's not going to win the belt. He's not going to win the title. So that's why I see it.
Okay. All right. Ray, where you at with this?
Yeah, I got Jey winning. I think it's a little bit too soon. I think Brother Chris's prediction, well, at least one half of his prediction is going to end up coming true. I think he had two predictions. He said Omos was going to be a future world champion, and he said Logan Paul was going to be a future world champion. So I think one of those right now are kind of apparent, but not right at this moment. Yeah, I got Jey winning, but I think Logan Paul, I'm like, come on, bro. It's like I think people know the history, but for him to come on in that podcast and kind of be like, well, people are forcing the hate. They forcing the hate. They don't really mean what they say when they talk about, oh, well, I'm not gifted and they forcing the booze. It's like, no, dude, you just suck, dude, as a person. you're just a bad person. Yes. not even mentioning the stuff from YouTube as far as like the Japan stuff. But also like considering he had this what do they call it? The whole cryptocurrency, the pump and dump stuff happening with his cryptocurrency, and then him talking about, oh, it's legit, but then people start losing money. It's like, no, they hate you for multiple reasons for real. Like it's not manufactured, it's not forced. You just suck as a human being. You're a talented wrestler. You're just not that. You're not a likable dude. And so, and then and for someone to say that the fans are forcing it, this guy goes out of his way to force himself to be a bad guy, and yet they're saying, "Oh, you're forcing the hate against me." Like, what? Come on now. Now you are there, and we were talking about this on Hoopsology, that the appearance that the Kings of Sport had on Hoopsology with doggone Draymond Green, or I think we talked about this on the Kings of Sport with Draymond Green talking about, they're trying to make me out to be the angry black man. Now, really? The dude who socked his teammate in practice? They try to make you the angry black? now Logan Paul like, oh, they trying to force their hate. Really? The guy who was up there like just wandering around and showing actual dead people in the forest? Really? You? And thought just for entertainment? Really? You? I'm shocked. I'm like, come on now. Shut up, dude.
Ray, as you're talking, this is the character that John Cena needs to be playing. He needs to be playing Logan Paul and put that into his personality and make us really hate him. Not doing some of the stuff that he's really doing, but taking that same energy that he's got and just make himself really unlikable. That's what I think we would look at John Cena and be like, okay, that's what we need from you, bro. Keep running with that.
I like that. Because Cena, we had a discussion earlier, Nate, and we are, to pivot off of the same discussion from the NWA. Is this what you want? No, this is not what I want. So we need some improvements. We need some improvements with that. So nah. But I'm going with Jey because I'm not picking an old boy from Ohio, and that's that. That leads us to the main event, probably of the show.
You ain't get my shocking pick.
Oh, my apologies.
Shocking. Because somebody has to be the voice of the voiceless here. Somebody has to stand up for the underdog.
Cut him, Ray.
Somebody got to stand up for this man who's been oppressed by the mainstream media. Somebody has to stand up for this brother that's been dealing with this manufactured hate and resentment and disgust. Somebody's got to do it, Jey Lacey. But it ain't gonna be me. As we've all said, man, Logan Paul is a talented wrestler, particularly for somebody who did not, grow up in this sport. But he's also a terrible human being, as we've illustrated, and he does a lot of cringy stuff. As Kendrick Lamar said, Jey Lacey, some shit's just cringeworthy. It ain't even got to be that deep, I guess. Like that's why people don't like you, Logan Paul. We don't need think pieces. We don't need to go into these long diatribes about why people are booing you. It's because you're a terrible human being, despite the fact that you're a good wrestler. But yeah, Jay's winning this, if for no other reason. Ray Williams, what network is this going to air on?
Oh, good old NBC.
And the National Broadcasting Company.
Oh, here we go.
We talking about NBC Universal. We're not talking about the Peacock. If this was on the Cock, maybe Logan Paul could sneak a victory here there. But we talking about NBC. We talking about Universal. We talking about General Electric, GE, General Electric. General Electric is not paying money for this show to have Logan Paul walk out with the belt. NBC, the National Broadcasting Company, Ray Williams. Mm-hmm. Okay, you look at the letters NBC, spell it backwards, CBN.
Oh my God.
Cautious brothers know. Okay, you gotta tread lightly. You gotta be cautious right now, Ray Williams, because when you look at the word caution, sometimes it means yield, Girard. Sometimes it means you can't go as fast as you want. Sometimes you gotta yield. Okay, but then when you flip that yield around, inverse it, put it backwards in the mirror, you go from yield to yeet. And that's why Jey Uso is walking in with the belt and walking out with the belt. Don't laugh, Ray Williams. I'm dropping some knowledge on you right now, sir.
Oh my good. Cautious brothers know with an
Cautious
N.
brothers know. That's what you gotta flip it around and put the thing down, flip it and reverse it.
All right. I think you surpassed my Ricky Superdome with that one thing you said.
Nah, that's going to forever live in infamy right there.
That man said it's not even going to be on the top.
It's not going to be on the
Oh, Lord.
It's going to be on NBC, sir.
Okay.
Lorne Michaels Network. Lorne Michaels ain't giving up a night of SNL for Logan Paul to win. That ain't how it's going down.
Oh my God.
Gotcha.
Well, speaking of, go ahead, Ray.
I was just going to say, when you were telling me to cut the mic, I know we mentioned we wanted this to be kind of like around the horn. I was about to mute him and then turn it around, but at the end, I should have muted him. I really should.
That was the inverted rule of 3. You was like, nah, I don't like this. Oh, maybe I do. No, I was right at the beginning. I don't like this.
Oh man. Well, how do you like R-Truth versus John Cena? Tell me that. How do you feel about that as a match coming up? Because I like it with one caveat and one caveat only. Capital punishment. Years ago, John Cena faced R-Truth in that match. I don't know what happened to Truth, but this Confederate Army wearing uniform clown that I don't know where I'm at locational wise. He ain't got no GPS. He ain't got no sense. He ain't got the run sheet. He ain't got nothing. But he has been a brother working a good job and holding it down in WWE through a lot of awful creative, but also a brother that deserves to have a serious push at this point and not go out like a clown. And so I hope somehow in this match, a wire is then, you know how when you sometimes like hit your remote, it's not working and you had to hit it again and all of a sudden your remote started working again. I hope that maybe just a random punch in this match from John Cena, his idol, his childhood hero, then wakes him up to say, hey, wait a minute, mother, I'm older than you. And then we get back to what it is with Truth, because Truth was, prior to that, a serious competitor. And I think the brother can be serious and entertaining without having to be a clown. What y'all got down on that?
I just got 3 words for you, Girard Brown.
Yeah.
Live, laugh,
oh no,
love. That's what this brother's been about. for the last few years. And you know, you bring up one of the greatest segments, in my opinion, in that era of WWE's history. When R-Truth showed up in Richmond, Virginia, with the Confederate uniform on, talking about I'm seceding from the WWE. Like this brother been on some different stuff. We not only did we have that, we had Lil Jimmy, we had the whole 24/7 title era of R-Truth. We had R-Truth and Carmella. We had never forget Pretty Ricky, Delicious Pretty Ricky, what they call him, Ray Williams. We had a whole 6 months of R-Truth basically just doing a Martin cosplay, a character off of Martin. Pretty Ricky, what they call him. Shout out to Miguel A. Nunez, aka Joanna Man. But this is going to be a fun match, but they did this match dirty. And we talked about it Sunday night, Jay. The fact that you did the Truth getting put through the table by Cena Angle at the damn Backlash press conference in front of a room of journalists who are like, how are we supposed to react to this? Is this like, are we part of the show now? Like, it didn't hit. There was no reaction. And if you had done that on Raw that following Monday, it would have killed. Like just the reaction of like, yeah, we like Truth in this iteration is a comedy character. You know, you could actually make the argument Truth is easily a top 5 comedy character in not only WWE but all of wrestling. I would go out on that branch and make that argument. But at his core, the brother can still get down in the ring. And so it's like, I wish they would have given us the altercation on TV, because I think it would have gone well in front of a live audience. Like, oh damn, you done gone too far now, John. Mm-hmm. This was too far. Again, going back to TV tropes, there's 2 tropes. One's called pet the dog and one's called kick the dog. And so pet the dog is when you have a villain have somebody or something or an animal that they love, and that's to show that the villain isn't all bad. There is some redemptive quality to him. Kick the dog is when the villain don't give a damn about the dog or anybody else. And so you're like, you know he's a bad guy. And that could have been John Cena's kick the dog moment, to your point, Jay. Like, that could have been like, okay, Cena asshole now. You ain't had to do that to Truth. So my hope is they give him a decent amount of time, you know, maybe 7 minutes, 9 minutes, something like that. Let Truth get, like, I don't want it to be a squash match. Let Truth have his moments. Let Truth have his shine before ultimately falling to John Cena. And I will say last thing is, as goofy as Truth's character can be and has been at various points over the last 15 years or so, I think that sit down he did on SmackDown with Wade Barrett, I thought that came off pretty good. Like in terms of like, you still have the delusion of Truth. Like, it's still my childhood hero. He just doesn't know who he is right now. And maybe I got to beat the real John Cena out of him. And we're going to do that at Saturday Night's Main Event. I'm like, okay. So I think these two are both pros. They've been knowing each other for a long time. So hopefully it'll be a good match. Hopefully it'll be better than that damn WrestleMania match with Devontae. Because you got some atoning to do for that, Cena. But yeah, John Cena's gonna win. Come on, who are you lying to, Ray? You suffer me. Because I know you was gonna pick Truth.
No. The capital punishment, which happened in my area, although I didn't get a chance to go. I wish I would have had an opportunity to go. But I see it going that way as well. Ray, I'm talking to myself.
Now you turn into Truth.
I know the little Jimmy.
The other R-Truth.
I know, right?
I'm a good R-Truth now.
R-Milk.
Oh man, there you go, Jay. But I thought that segment was really good. That they had between R-Truth and Wade as well to sit down. And even like he still put a little bit of humor, even though he was serious, like for the majority of it. I love it at the end. He was like, much obliged, Wade. Like he still had like that southern gentleman in him at the end. But yeah, I think I I don't know if you was listening earlier, Nate, but I was kind of talking about the turn initially and then kind of recapping what we were talking about on Sunday. And I kind of thought that with him just Truth during the press conference was kind of like, I don't know, it wasn't impactful as maybe, like you said, like in front of a live audience, like John just beating the crap, like kind of like a similar thing to what The Rock did with Devontae last year, where he's just whipping them all around the arena, just throwing them against stuff and throwing them through stuff. Like, I think that
if you do that, Ray, if you had done that before, then you could have had maybe 2 or 3 minutes of Truth just like begging his childhood hero, like, this not the real you, John, like, and going over all of John's big moments and stuff. And it's like you could like selling how much this dude that's like 10 years younger than him meant to him growing up. And then just get the brakes beaten off of him. That man, come on, like that would have been very, very impactful, and what we got was not.
And in addition to that, what you're saying, Nate, R-Truth could have looked at John Cena like Lyra Valkyrie looked at Becky Lynch when she was getting beat down.
Yes,
what did that look like? That's exactly what are you doing? Why are you hitting John? What are you doing? That right there could have been something like on a segment rather than just wasting on a what was it, like after the press conference special or whatever.
Press conference.
Yeah. So that was like a moment wasted, and I think they could have got some more mileage out of it. To guys' point,
like you could have done that in front of a full arena. You doing that in front of, and we love these folks, but you did that in front of SP3 and Denise Salcedo and cats like that, and they're like, what are we supposed to be doing here?
I know, we're at work.
We're working now, Triple H. What the hell you want us to do, brother?
At my job.
Do you think that's a more, because I think the fans didn't really take to Lyra in that beatdown, and so do you think, if like with that being the case and Truth taking that role, do you think the fans would take the Truth in that way better than they would? I mean, yes, it's because I was in the crowd live for that, and everybody was screaming, Lyra, why aren't you getting up and fighting? Like, why are you just looking at her like you a grown woman? Like, I get that's your mentor, but like, there's a certain point you just need to start. You a fighter, and at a certain point, why is your fight not kicking in? Why is your flight just having you just look on the ground? Like, we need you to get active with it, as they say. So, if truthfully, like, oh, I'm a kid, and that Santa Claus beating me up. Why is he beating me? I think
there's a difference not only in the character, Girard, where Truth is like, even though he's this grown ass man, there is a naivete about the Truth character, but also, and this is no shade to Lyra, the audience by and large cares a lot more about Truth because we've known this dude for damn near 20 years versus Lyra, who is new to a lot of people.
I like that.
You took the words out of my mouth. You took the words right out of my mouth. The crowd has more of a they're connected to Truth as opposed to Lyra. We've known her for 20 minutes. We've known him for 20 years. You know what I mean? So
like that. Minutes versus that. Lyra's getting there, and you can tell that from that match to some of the promos leading up to Backlash. She getting there, and so she on the route. But I hope. And I asked this last question before we move on from this match. Why isn't it not for the WWE title? I don't want to hear the excuse, what has R-Truth done to earn a world title match? Because it's the same thing that, John somehow earned himself an Elimination Chamber match. Off of what? Losing for years?
Who did Randy Orton beat besides Joe Hendry?
For real. But I ain't gonna throw Randy under that bus like that. I ain't gonna throw Randy, because we can go back further. We can get a dub on Randy faster than that. But think about that. Cena has not won anything.
Nope.
And he was warranted that shot. So like, I don't want to hear that excuse with this reign. At this point, it seems like the fun John Cena going out retirement reign of like, what are these fun ideas? We're not gonna do anything too crucial, too deep. Oh, R-Truth? That's a fun thing. We've been teasing that for some years. Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah,
like, imagine if Truth got a hope spot for the title, man. Like, that would be insane.
But like, here's my thing with it not being on the line. Does Truth? I know everybody's selling Truth out, but do y'all? I think he could win.
You know what? I was not aware that this was a non-title match. So
me either.
If it's a non-title match, I would not be surprised. Truth gets the win, but he also gets beaten down severely, and then they go to a title match where Cody Rhodes comes out and Rhodes comes out and stops the bum rush, and so there goes that story with between Cena and Cody.
I like that. I mean, I don't know how I feel about Cody coming to save the black man, but okay. I mean, Devontae,
he got to look out for his people.
So you know, he
you want to keep that invitation to the cookout. You know what I mean?
He to the cookout. So
Brandy told me to do it.
I guess
Brandy said, "If you don't go out there and save that man, you sleeping on the couch, Cody."
Yes.
Summertime, you want the cookout? You better go out there to that ring again.
So we're gonna take a quick bathroom break, and this bathroom break is we looking ahead at Money in the Bank, and I only want to see 3 things from y'all. This ain't the big 3. We'll get to that later. It's got a whole nother name anyway, but we'll get to that later. I want to hear you predict these 3 things about Money in the Bank. Who's winning the men's match? Who's winning the women's match? And who is John Cena facing? Or is he even a world title match?
All right, I guess.
And I'm gonna go with Ray first. Yeah, go ahead, Rocky Ray.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't get used to dramatic pauses too often. I like pauses, but well, I guess when we on the radio, I guess I got to feel the error. But I don't know. The thing is, it's hard to pick right now since we don't know most of like the other qualifying matches. Like we only know really like I think for the 3 of the women, Rhea. And by the way, shout out to Zoe Stark. Hopefully you heal quickly. Hopefully it's not as serious as it looked. It's devastating injury on Monday night, but hopefully she'll be better in the long run. And shout out to Kairi Sane. Welcome back. But I think as far as I don't know, because now as we're speaking, it's SmackDown is on right now, and I believe it's going to be a triple threat match right now with Julia, Charlotte Flair, and I don't know if anybody else is coming yet. Oh, who's the third woman?
See, I didn't ask all that.
Zelina Vega.
Ray.
It looks like.
I asked you who's gonna win. I don't care who's in the match versus not in the match, Ray.
I don't know.
I need you to
be tell us when half the people
the future.
How can I predict it when half the people haven't been announced for the match, brother Girard? I don't know. I mean, because we still don't know. I mean, I think it'll be easier for me to pick an opponent for John. I don't know. Like if we do get shenanigans with Truth, then I don't know. Maybe Truth, but I can easily see not. I could easily see John Cena not wrestling on this card because again, and I wish he would promote that thing when he was talking about I have such and such dates left, and then he had the actual dates show up on the Jumbotron. I wish he would have the countdown because I think that would kind of be impactful as well. But I don't think he's showing up in Money in the Bank this year. As far as the winners, I don't know, man. I guess I could be I could be a contrarian and be like, oh, Charlotte's gonna win because she win everything. But I don't know. I mean, could go with Alexa. I don't know. Alexa's won it before already. Hey, let's do Roxanne. Like I said, I think Roxanne. Ring theory just hit me. So
let me come to here. Let me stop coming to here.
Roxanne wins, gets the briefcase. She's a part of the Judgment Day, aka Street Trash. There's tension between her and Liv. Oh, I forgot. Liv doesn't have the belt no more.
Damn, the EO ratio is crazy.
I thought Liv still had the belt, but I still get. I still get well, maybe Liv. Nah, but Liv already won it before. Yeah, let's go with Roxanne. She deserves it. And as far as the men, I don't know, because Seth won it before. I don't know if he's in qualifying match or not. I doubt he is, but I doubt he will be. But let's go. I'll say Braun. I'll just throw that out there. Throw it into the atmosphere. Who knows? So Braun, my men's winner. Roxanne, my women's winner, and no match for John.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Mr. Lacey, what you got up there?
I too have Roxanne winning the women's Money in the Bank.
Okay.
You know, just to stir up a little, envy and jealousy, because once Liv gets back, she's probably gonna want to get part of the title picture, and Roxanne's just gonna be teasing her with it, the Money in the Bank briefcase. So I could see that for sure. Far as the men's, I would love for Solo Sikoa to win the ladder match. This dude has so much potential and hype when he first joined the main roster, and then he became a background player, and then he is what he is today. So I think this would give him the juice to reclaim the title Street Champ and put him back in the main event picture. So I think that would definitely help his cause for that. I don't even know if he's in a qualifying match, but I was kicking around Rey Fenix. I think he's going to be a part of the match, but I don't think he's going to be in the world title picture. I mean, him carrying that briefcase is, I think it's too soon. And this goes to another theory sidebar, where I think that everyone that's come from AEW, with the exception of Cody, is not in a better spot than when they, were hoping to come apart to the company. If that makes sense.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So hear me out. Cody Rhodes, started his trajectory, won a title, whatever. Ricky Superdome.
Use his government name.
He may be the only one in the second best performer that's left AEW, come join WWE, and he's in a good spot. Everyone else, look at Rusev. What's he been doing lately? Aleister Black. What you done for me lately? Lexis King. Really? So I mean,
Heritage.
The Lucha Brothers. I mean, they've been eating pins. They're not protected anymore. So I just don't see them, and I think that's a sign to anybody that's looking to jump ship. Grass ain't always greener on the other side. You might want to water your lawn. Okay. For John Cena, Ray, you hit a good point. I don't know if he's gonna have a match or not, but I'm just going to assume that he is going to have a match. He's going to be wrestling a veteran. I think he's John Cena's on a veteran kick right now. He's not giving any new blood any type of shine on this championship run. But I think he's going to face R-Truth again if he does, based on the outcome of Saturday night's main event. I think if R-Truth sneaks out a win, he's gonna have to give him a title, rematch. It's always in their clauses, so that's what they're gonna do. So
that's why
if he does have a match, I'm gonna say I want it for R-Truth. If he doesn't have a match, then whatever.
That's why you're my tag partner, because I need the hot tag. I'm crawling across the ring, but we got the same idea. We have no words needed. Because that show who's showing up. But nah, brother Nate, Go ahead, my man.
First of all, I want to, you gotta appreciate your brothers when they do a good thing. So shout out to Ray for having such difficulty with this question and gave us all time to think of our answers. You a real one, Ray Williams.
All you had to do was say Zack Sabre Jr., bro. You covered it.
That question had Ray sweating like a streetwalker in church on Easter Sunday. Come on, Ray Williams. So I will actually give Ray some credit though, because he jokingly said my answer for the women's Money in the Bank. I think it is going to be Charlotte Flair. And the reason I say this is because I'm going to play the role of Chris Ely here, because one of the things Chris always does on NWA, Ray, is you got to look at the history of the way this company books their stars. And so we know as much as I was happy to see EO win at WrestleMania, we know they want Rhea Ripley with that damn belt.
Yeah.
I don't think it does any good to have Rhea take it off of EO. I think even though, she does have that story of never getting that one-on-one win, but I think you can do that once Rhea's the champion. But I think what you do is Charlotte wins Money in the Bank. She's like, I ain't messing with Tiffany again, man. She's bringing up too much stuff from my past. I'm going to go over to Raw, cut the line, cash in on EO, and I'm going to win. I think that's like, because we always get an immediate cash in and a delayed cash in. I think the women's cash in is going to be immediate. Charlotte cashes in on EO and then eventually drops the belt to Rhea. That's how they get to Rhea. For the men, it's a little more dicey because we're looking at somebody to face either Cena or Seth. And so, like, who are the candidates? Who are the strong baby faces right now? You got Punk, you got
Jey
Sammy.
Out. You kicked Jey out already?
I did kick Jey out.
That's crazy.
He about to drop the belt. He about to drop the belt. I'm kicking you out, Jay.
Ain't cold yet. Wow.
Look, I messed up, but I'm gonna pretend like I did it on purpose to make up for Jay erasing Ray erasing EO. We erasing champions all over the place tonight. But yeah, Jay. I don't know why I thought it was on Seth. So yeah, Jay or Cena. So then the question is, what's the match we're gonna get out of this? I don't think the Money in the Bank winner goes after Cena. Because to Jay's point, I feel like Cena is kind of on a track where he's going to face veterans until eventually we run it back with Cody. So I think the winner of Money in the Bank is, two heels winning. That's crazy, but that's kind of the world we live in right now. Heels can win the Money in the Bank. Heels can win the presidential election. It's a good time to be a heel, ladies and gentlemen. Message. But I'm going to go with, because originally my thought was, again, I'm thinking of Seth. I'm like, ooh, Seth and Penta could feed generations. But knowing that it's Jay, because we're going back to Gunther at some point. Like we're going back to Gunther at some point with Jay. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm gonna go with. Can't be Braun because you don't want Braun taking an L right now. You know what? I'm with Jay. I'll go with Solo Sikoa. How about that? And then we get a little bloodline on bloodline intrigue. Brothers fighting again. And in terms of John Cena, I don't think he has a match at Money in the Bank, Girard, just because you don't need it. Okay. Like the two Money in the Bank matches sell the show on its own. But if you were to have a match back on that veteran track, as Jay alluded to, I say run back AJ and Cena.
Ooh, that's
if we just have to have a Cena match, let's run it back one last time with AJ and Cena.
Oh,
okay, I like that.
But the thing is, how would you cross? Because right now AJ's a Raw guy.
Brand split don't matter.
I was like, Cena be on Raw all the damn time. Cena go where he want to go.
Cena the champ.
They can have look, if we set up this damn truth match from a press conference interaction, Ray, that half of the damn audience ain't even see when it happened, you can have some type of backstage thing or an in-ring thing where AJ comes out, you know what, John Cena? I've been wrestling all around the world, this whole flat world, man. And I used to have a lot of respect for you but you know what? Somebody's got to beat the respect into you. Instant match, Ray. I did it. Thank you, Booker, man. I respect you.
And hey, what's to say Saturday night's main event? AJ's not the one that saves Truth from that beatdown.
Okay.
To then pivot to Money in the Bank.
There you go. Thank you.
That's where they first faced in 2016 at that Money in the Bank pay-per-view.
Okay. Come on,
so
right.
To call back to that, hey, that's a great opponent. People keep thinking CM Punk because of their legendary match, and yet AJ and Cena's biggest matches were at SummerSlam and Royal Rumble, but they kicked it all off at that Money in the Bank pay-per-view. So I think that's a great shout, Nate, honestly. So I know I had phrased the question, so of course I already got my answers, folks. And I hated my first answer because I initially wanted to go Punk with the men's, but I didn't go Punk. And then I wanted to go Carmelo, not Camilla. But I think him and the Miz, I think he's just, I don't know. I think he's going to be anchored down for a little while with that. So I don't think that's the path for him. So then I don't think he wins if he gets the briefcase, sadly. Leads me to go my last route. I think it's Drew McIntyre. Why? So he can literally do, I'm not going to reach that briefcase because I ain't got the usage of both hands, but he going to literally do the Punk WrestleMania 25 pose, because that was Punk's second year in a row, winning Money in the Bank. To do the insulted pose back at Punk, get the briefcase because he's going to sit on that and hold it. Because to have that and looming over both champions, Drew as a threat, Drew can go after Jey because, you pissed me off with that little smoking weed in my face match at the start of the year. I ain't forgot. But also, he keep talking about the man we can't see all the time. And the fact that nobody listened to him about Cena. So what if Cena somehow turns in this title reign like Punk turned as champion? And then you have Drew cash in on him later on. It's not impossible that it can be Cena. So I'm going with Drew for the men's. For the women's, it's plain, it's simple. I just need y'all to do one thing for me and proceed with some caution because my girl Naomi is going to get that briefcase. Wow. I don't even know she's going to be in the match, but I'm going to be the person that I'm
cautious brothers know.
Hey, proceed.
That sounds like a t-shirt. Get that t-shirt money going.
Cautious brothers know.
Well, but real quick.
And then, go ahead.
I was going to say real quick. First off, Nate, it looks like your pick has already been nullified because Julia has won the triple threat. They might have like a last chance.
I'll say you act like Charlotte Flair can't magically flare her way into a match, Ray. Have you not been watching wrestling?
That's crazy.
She could, but
like how she end up in the Royal Rumble? She ain't earned no position. She just showed up and won the Royal Rumble out of nowhere.
I'm just saying, Royal Rumble had 30 people. Money in the Bank only got like 6 to 8. So I don't know.
As long as Charlotte got her seat reserved, she good, Ray.
We'll see. It's 2 more spots
that
left. But Jay, I did want to ask you, or Girard, I don't know what I can do. Girard, I did want to ask you. So you mentioned, who do you mention? You just mentioned somebody. You mentioned
Drew,
not AJ, but you mentioned Drew winning. Drew just won last year. He won a Money in the Bank.
That's why he's doing the two. That's why he's doing the CM Punk pose from WrestleMania 25 because Punk won 24 and 25.
But
so what can Drew do? Win 24 and 25. Literally. Think about it. It's
24 he got thwarted by Punk. Do you think he gets thwarted by Damian?
No, I think Damian's done. I think this cage match is the end. I genuinely think they're trying to bring back the cage match. And though, yes, in the same year they had Roman do that earlier. Before that, I was on a cruise ship watching that off cruise ship Wi-Fi. And that was an amazing match to me. To watch off my phone. And I wish I was at home on my TV watching it. That was a great cage match. And that's one, I can't remember a cage match since then in WWE that was a really good cage match. In the same week of the other cage match as well in AEW with Fletcher and Osprey. So, but for WWE, I think they're trying to rehab the cage match just like they're trying to rehab Hell in a Cell and some of these match concepts that have been, for lack of a better term, bastardized over these years and just overused for whatever need they need to do. And yes, Drew took the L with it last. I was there in Toronto when he won it, and I was pissed off because I wanted Chad to be there to win it. So I was pissed that Chad was the last one to fall right before Drew got it. And then for Drew to also wasted that same night for a storyline that did not need it and already had enough heat behind it. Yeah, I don't really want to see Drew win it. It's not who I want to win it personally as a fan, but storyline wise, I see it going for Drew because Drew needs to rehab. And like to spike people in the face, I can easily see him doing the same thing. Just put that twofer up just for the same fact that I did it again, y'all, and I'm coming back to get my world title. But this time I'm learning. I'm not gonna just cash it in the same night. I'm gonna be strategic this time, just like everybody else did to me, just like a Damian Priest did to me. He's learning from his past enemies. Damian Priest was strategic, waited to my own words and used my own words against me and cashed in on me. I told him when to cash in on me, and my ego got the best of me. Punk was somebody who was able to win it 2 years in a row and use that as a success. I'm gonna follow his blueprint too. He's adapting. He's like the T1000. Is that the liquid one?
Yeah.
Or is that Arnold? Yeah, he's the T1000. So he's evolving, he's shifting, he's changing. I'm with it. Let's roll with Drew. And he needs the dub because getting rolled up in Elimination Chamber, getting thrown out by folks in the Royal Rumble. I had him winning Elimination Chamber. That's how left field to me that was. So yeah, man.
Well, kind of to continue on with this ring theory. So we've already discussed earlier that Drew may be the fourth member of Seth Rollins' group. Now, if Nate's reality becomes true reality and Seth does become the champion, and then you have Drew become the Money in the Bank winner, how is that going to work with those two if they're on the same squad?
There's a reason why we need to get you over here, brother, because you are only proving to us your usefulness. And with that briefcase and you joining our squad, we can not only ensure that you can cash in successfully, you can then bring that gold over here while we hustling and doing our own thing too.
Oh, so
who's to say what gold he goes after? That's what I'm saying. He could go after either champ. And if it's Seth saying, hey, I want the world heavyweight, Drew being like, cool. I'm going back after my title I should have never lost after the pandemic. And there you go. Because if we already going to have them and Kevin Owens, that was the whole trio at the beginning that they were going to have. The Drew, the We Hate the Bloodline trio. But we kind of forgot about the Bloodline portion, and we're now focused on just the Vision. Or the White Vision, if you will. So, I think that's where we're going with it. And I could see Drew winning that briefcase to then be somebody who then is like, you have something I need, so please come with our group. You're only now showing us that we can use you now too. This is the Drew McIntyre we've been looking to see. Whatever. So, and then of course I just need my girl Naomi to do her thing. I need she been held down for too long, and I need her to get that briefcase so then we can just have it covered in the caution tape.
Yes.
And then literally, hey, we caution tape, strap, everything. If we can do it with that pink briefcase for Tiff, we can do it for our sister over here as well. So
it's gonna be hard to get the contract
it's just the
out.
caution.
It's gonna be hard to get the contract out with all that tape.
I mean, that's a security measure.
If I could rework the story to work with in my memes, I hope Bianca comes back and she then becomes one of Tiffany's focuses because she's not on Raw. And so I don't think she'll go after. If she goes after the World Heavyweight title, I still think that could then be I think wherever Bianca goes, Naomi is going to be the one to follow with that briefcase in the end because I think Bianca's going to be around the scene when that cash-in happens for Naomi. So that's my picks. And my tag partner got me because, yes, I'm going with John Cena versus R-Truth, round 2. Electric Boogaloo for the WWE title. And then, hey, We could even tease. Nah, I don't want him coming in. Never mind. I know I just did the pose, but no, we putting that to bed. That ended the backlash. We done. Never mind. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna say I want to move us to Double or Nothing because we have kind of hit over our little limit that we wanted to do, but we're gonna cover some of those big matches.
You're gonna get us kicked off the air like Dynamite land. Was it Dynamite or was it a Collision?
Collision.
Yeah, Collision. That man Dwayne at it again. Final boss is doing what final boss is do.
See, Downtown Brown, Brown, you the booker. You're like, all right, brother, we turning your 25 minutes. You got about 5 minutes. It's like a women's match around man. We're gonna turn your 10 minutes to 2 minutes, brother.
But let's do it like this. We're gonna start with the Owen Hart matches. Let's go Mercedes versus Jamie Hayter. I want to hear Jey Lacey. What are you thinking, man? Who's winning this match? And let's go around the horn and talk about this. I'll be right back.
My mind is telling me
no.
My mind's telling me Hayter, but my money is telling me Monet.
Oh,
Jamie Hayter needs the win, but I don't think that Mercedes Monet is going to eat the pin on this one simply because the money match for the future would be her and Toni Storm, you know, and I think that's the route that they're going to take. Jamie Hayter is a beast. I like her. I mean, her theme music is a banger. I mean, that's on my playlist, honestly, in the workout. But I think Jamie Hayter needs the win, but she ain't gonna get the win this time. So my money's on Mercedes Monet.
Okay.
Ray, what you think?
Well, I think I'm going to kind of go with kind of similar picks that I made, but we'll see because I mean, a different day could be a different opinion. I think we kind of talked about Athena getting involved, and so I think that is still a possibility as far as Athena getting involved. And I like the interaction between Hayter when Hayter kind of brought up, hey, you already lost one belt. Now you going, this is just the beginning. You're going to start losing it all. And that's always like the biggest thing around like the belt collector gimmicks is like, once you lose one, it's like an avalanche. We saw it with Kenny Omega. We saw it with FTR when they had all of those belts. So, yeah, I just saw the thread like, oh, it's all AEW stuff when all the AEW guys have like the belt collector stuff. But I think Hayter will end up. I think I initially had Sasha winning, but
yes, you did.
Yeah, I did.
The North remembers.
Well, it's a different show. I can have different people on a different show.
He's hedging his bets. I get it.
I'm reserved. Yeah, I reserve the right to change my mind.
Card subject to change.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I go with Jamie Hayter.
Okay.
Cool. Nate, who you got?
You know, unlike Ray Williams, I'm a man of my convictions.
Oh, stop.
I'm about to call this man Ray Williams a pair of Yeezy slides because he's looking. He out here flip flopping, man. That's what he's doing.
Oh, really?
That's what he's doing, ladies and gentlemen.
From the dream to the sky. Yes, last year. Yeah, the North remembers, brother.
You know, that is not a flip flop. That is a polyamorous relationship, Ray. You need to open your mind and stop being judgmental, brother. I can love two things at the same time, Ray Williams. I can love Brittany Griner and Tahina Pow in the Dream, and also love Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso and the Sky. I can hold those two things at the same time, Ray. Oh, no. Much like Mercedes Monet can hold all these belts at the same time, Ray Williams. But she's still gonna lose, as I said on NWA podcast. It's gonna be time for some hateration and holleration in the dance of Girard Brown. And the reason I'm picking Jamie Hayter is obviously we're going to the Beyonce Marilyn Monroe matchup, and I'm glad Mercedes called herself Beyonce the other day because I've been saying Beyonce and Marilyn Monroe with her and Toni Storm. That's the dream matchup, but it's too early. Like we're getting hints, we're getting breadcrumbs, but we're not going to that match next. We're gonna get Hayter versus Storm. Storm wins, and I believe we're gonna get Athena versus Mercedes in Texas, and Mercedes is gonna lose another belt, and that's gonna motivate the character to go even harder after Toni Storm, and they're gonna give us that again. You know, that Toni Storm Mercedes Moné match, whenever it happens, is going to be generational. So yeah, I think as Jay alluded to, like I feel like Jamie kind of needs this more, and the loss really doesn't hurt Mercedes, especially if there's some shenanigans with Athena thrown in. So yeah, give me a hater on this one.
All right. Hey, it's the haterade that I'm sipping on today. That's where I'm going because it's been Jamie Hayter. She returned last year at All In and on the pre-show, which she deserved to return on the main show, but returning even on the pre-show, she has feuded with Julia Hart to kick off her return and just kind of wishy-washy here and there. Lost a couple matches to, I believe, Willow off of Collision and whatnot, and just a couple tournament opportunities. This to me has been one of the best built programs for her, and to then take it back to the feud that who did she beat initially for the title in the first place? She beat Toni Storm. And I believe Toni Storm was also the person who took it off of her. So when you're looking at it like that, that's where you want to go with this story. You want to bring it back to that, the roommates who had to struggle and hustle back in the day together, making it to the biggest show of the year. Globe Life Stadium, Texas, Arlington, for that title, for Jamie to then get her groove back to then win again there's no bigger moment for Jamie to, if we're going to try to make another star, that's a 1-2. Your 1 is Mercedes Moné, your 2 is Timeless Toni Storm, and her defeating both of them and being the only woman in the company to have a win over both of them. That makes her stand above a lot of other people in that. So I go Jamie Hayter in this. I think Mercedes, I talking about Athena, I heard it in my ears as I was still presently floating around here. When I stepped away, that I just want to give that person they credit that Athena might be coming around the bend for that revenge. And so hey, I think Texas is gonna be the time for Athena Moné too. And I think that's when we finally see the end of that TBS reign as well. So, hey, who knows when that Rev Pro show is coming? But Rev Pro will be calling, and Mercedes will just be looking at that phone, wondering if she's going to pick it up because that might be the next title that goes. So, but that is the T. I think, like whoever stated, Jamie said it in the promo, you're going to lose it all. So, yo, it's coming. The babyface called her shot. It's time for her to get her shot. Because then if she loses this, how does she rebound from this? You can say, yeah, she gets back tougher again, but like, I don't know. Song and dance, we've seen it before. So. Oh no.
Like, is there Ring of Honor?
But the other, let's move on to the next Owen Hart Cup match. Because main eventing the pay-per-view, we have Hangman Adam Page versus Will Ospreay. Winner goes on to face Jon Moxley at All In Texas. Gentlemen, let's start off with Nate. Who do you got?
First of all, shout out to Emmy-nominated performer Hangman Adam Page. Nominated for that one episode of Dynamite with him and Swerve. You threw clothes on my baby. You burned down my house. You deserved it. I know. Insane. Them boys was out here acting. They was out here acting, Girard. Showing true growth in the thespian craft. But we also got a little bit of that this past week on Dynamite. This man, Hangman Adam Page, got in the ring and told y'all what he was all about. told y'all that Will Ospreay, who cut a good promo that night, Ospreay talking about how much he wants this. Hangman like, nah, dog, I need this. I've been in the wilderness for 2 years. I might as well have been up on the mountain with Darby Allin because I ain't been the real me. I got to get back to who I'm supposed to be. So this is really intriguing to me because I think I predicted Ospreay on the NWA podcast because I feel like the Hangman story. I feel like the Hangman story needs another level of setback to it because I think ultimately what is going to set Hangman free is this partnership, not of friendship or convenience or of need, but a partnership of we all we got with Swerve against the Death Riders. And I think in order to get to that place, he's got to fail here. It's going to be a hell of a match. I think Ospreay wins, and then Ospreay loses, and then Hangman's kind of sitting there like, "Damn, I should have beat him, so I could have beat them." But now I'm stuck, and Swerve's stuck in the same spot, even though I think they're going to win Anarchy in the Arena. Spoiler alert. But yeah, like this could go either way. But as for right now, unlike Ray Williams, I'm not flip flopping. I'm not waffling. I'm not out here waffling. It ain't breakfast time, Ray. It's dinner time. Ain't nobody waffling, brother.
I hate you.
Maybe it's breakfast time in South Africa where Chinyere is at. Shout out to the good sis Chinyere Okafor. But I'm gonna go. Maybe it's breakfast time for Martin Bushby in jolly old England. But I'm gonna go with Hangman on this one. No, I'm gonna go with Swerve on this one. No, I'm gonna go with Ospreay on this one. See, because they all connected, brothers. They all are united through this string. And Ospreay's gonna lose to Moxley. There we go.
I was like, did I miss the AEW post credit scene when Swerve got added to the match? I was like, wait a minute.
Well, it's all part of a story. See, Swerve lost to Moxley, and now Ospreay's gonna lose to Moxley, and then Hangman loses to Moxley. But who can beat Moxley? Hangman and Swerve together. Traditional and non-traditional means
coming together.
Before we move on to the next person, also just shout at Darby Allin for climbing that mountain and getting up to that top. So hey, good luck coming down.
So did we ever figure out did he get to the top or like one of the plateaus?
I thought it was the top they were talking about. At his elevation, he was talking about they had reached one of the highest tops.
Yeah, because I thought it was all one big ass mountain, which it is, but I didn't know they were like various. Like I climbed Everest, but I'm like on level 5 versus 4, 3, 2, and 1. I didn't know there were
12 levels.
12 levels, damn, into the 12 chambers of Everest. Man. But yeah, I'm not saying Darby had to get to the top, but I'm saying like I'm gonna give him credit because I ain't climbing no damn mountain. But if he only got to like level 8, I'm like, You could have stayed at home in Washington and climbed Mount Rainier if that's all you was gonna do, Darby. Take your ass to work, brother.
We have a mountain called the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament. You could have climbed.
Exactly. You could have climbed that mountain, brother. You still ain't climbed the mountain to the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, brother. Is that elevation too high for you, Darby?
Next thing you know, he gonna bring the King of the Mountain match.
Bring him back to work.
I'm gonna say that should be his match though. When he comes back, like if I'm Tony Khan, like just Jeff Jarrett beseech the King of the Mountain gimmick to Darby. That should be his gimmick from now on.
Hey, he is the true King of the Mountain, though. But Ray, who do you think? Who do you got? Will it be Will? Will it be Hang?
Well, I think. See, now I can't even remember what my pick was on Sunday, but I think. Oh yeah, I remember. Zack Sabre Jr. See how I turn it back on myself. See, they can't use it and weaponize it. Jey Lacey.
We still gonna weaponize it.
Oh yeah.
You just gonna get hit twice now instead of just once.
But yeah, I think Will Ospreay is gonna take it. A tremendous, like, to echo Nate's sentiments, I think it was a tremendous promo battle between the two. And I just think, yeah, I think And I think you can still link together because even in that promo, Will Ospreay was kind of like, "Hey, I know we got to go against each other for the opportunity to face Moxley, but let's keep the end goal in mind. One of us has to take it off Moxley. So whoever loses, it would be best for the company for all of us to be together." So I think that you can still have, even if Hangman loses, you can still have him kind of aligned with Ospreay to take out the Death Riders, and then you can still have Swerve as a part of that group because Swerve and Ospreay get along. And again, like you said, it's a partnership of necessity, not of convenience or whatever or whatnot. So I think you could still tell that story while still having Ospreay being that number one guy. And I actually see Ospreay winning at All In because I think with all this stuff,
Ray, you can't kill the Death Rider story now, not when it's getting good.
there you go. You and you and Jet Black suit. I like this storyline.
I don't know why everybody's criticizing these Death Riders. They're a breath of fresh air.
Shout out to Jet Black suit from the chat on Sunday. But yeah, I think it's about it's been a good 10 months. By the time we get to Double or Nothing, it would have been about 10 months since Moxley's been champion. So yeah, I think it's been long enough. But yeah, I got Ospreay winning.
All right, Jey Lacey
sticking with my pick.
Oh man, hearing these arguments for Ospreay to win has won me over. I think Ospreay's gonna win now. I had Hangman before, but the reason why you guys have changed my mind on it is because I can't imagine a world where Swerve is okay with Hangman winning the belt before he does again. I can't see that happening. So I could see Ospreay winning the title and Swerve being okay with it and then going after him. But I just don't see how it would sit well with with Swerve and Hangman. So and with that, I think with the dismantling of the crew that that Moxley's with right now, the Death Riders, I think Hangman's going to play a role in the dismantling of it to help Ospreay win, I think, down the line when that happens. So, yeah, I think with Tony Khan, he's got a brand new toy with Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay's the guy right now, so I think it'll be his turn relatively soon. So, Hangman's going to lose. I got Ospreay winning.
Okay. We all seem to be almost on. We're all on one accord because I am going with Will Ospreay. So hop in the Uber. Your Uber XL is here. I got mints and water in the back. It's a short drive, but we have this match. We have Will Ospreay. We have Hangman Adam Page. The words from Hangman saying, "I need this more," does mean something. Because in the match on Sunday, he will be right there to win it. But because he said those words, "I need it," and the way he's going about it, two of his best friends are going to appear in that main event. Bloodied, battered, and beaten, and also very sour from losing earlier in the night. The Young Bucks will be coming out to lend that assist to Hangman. The assist for not asking them to give him a world title shot. And they are going to EVP trigger him straight on out the Owen Hart tournament. And Ospreay will get that win by hook or by crook. Not happy to get the win, but he will get the win. Like he won't like they'll just put his body over him. Like no matter what, Ospreay's going to get that win. It's going to have Hangman and Ospreay not only work together, but we are now creating this new Avengers. And so you already have the majority of the Avengers on the Anarchy in the Arena side. You just need one more. You you need 2 more, and you got them in this match right here, and they're already on a line to coexist. But you need to get Hangman and Swerve together for the Bucks, and Swerve is already on Buck season mode. This will get Hangman on Buck season mode. But I think when we have the climactic all in Texas, it will be Will Ospreay fighting against Jon Moxley, the Death Riders coming in, Kenny Omega running down after unifying the belt against Okada. You have everybody else who's had their matches during that night coming on down to support. It's going to be basically WrestleMania 40, but their version of it, where you're now going to have them eliminating everybody else that you can for the Death Riders to then deal a clean slate, no distractions. Even Willow coming down to lay out at Marina and do her business. So that way it's just straight up Will. You can say not Spirit Gun, but Hidden Blade. You can do whatever he wants to do. Tiger Driver. Put down Mox. He wins the belt. Because I do think he goes to London. My brain has been telling me he goes to London with that belt.
Okay.
Yeah. 100%.
The bigger scene is him with that belt walking in. Since he can't, it's going to make him look bad to lose a match at All In and then go to London one more time for it. I don't feel that it could happen, but I don't feel it. And so in my head, win it and have some great defense against, maybe run him and Swerve back. Him and Swerve to it.
Okay.
And this is the time where he's now learned and he's got his killer instinct against Swerve. Because they had, to me, my favorite match, one of my top matches of last year. So I give it to those two to have that in London. But that's my route there. That's that theory for you right there.
Okay. I like that. Let me give you a potential future, a potential tweak to your theory though, Girard. Because you know, I've seen a million different possibilities.
Okay.
Doctor Strange on these streets.
We
do the exact same thing where, you know, I love how you laid out this match with Hangman and Ospreay. Like they just needed the push. And now they down to join the Avengers. We have the same schmaz, the WrestleMania 40-esque schmaz. But instead of the victory, instead of Endgame, we get Infinity War. And even with all this chaos, Ospreay just comes up that short. And then Endgame is London. You don't like that?
I won't be there. I'm going to be there in Texas live.
So what you're saying is this is a selfish theory.
No, I'd keep it a buck with you. This story's gone too long. It should have ended with Swerve. That Mox having that belt.
Some would argue Mox should have never had the belt.
The last image before Will finish this match is going to be Mox trying to reach for that briefcase and a hooded figure grabbing it and stopping him to reveal Darby Allin taking that briefcase from him to hand it over to Will. Because who back during the Continental Classic asked Will, why are you not in this fight?
Okay.
He said, I had to handle my own business first, and then I'm going to be over here to do this. And he's already moving his way over into it. Darby will be there to deal that last little. And then at All Out in Toronto, it will be probably Darby versus Mox. So yeah.
Okay.
But no, I'm sorry. As a fan, I'm sick. I'm throwing up. I'm taking a hefty break until All Out. I will not watch anything until All Out. If that is the case, and that's because that's my vacation. I love Toronto. And I know by the time I get to that arena at Scotiabank, I will be the happiest man on earth. So yes, I will. If Mox walks out with that belt, I'm tapping out personally. You ain't got to throw me in the Bulldog. I'll tap out myself. Yeah, I'm putting myself down.
He gonna walk out like Chris walked out of WrestleMania San Francisco when Sting lost. Like, you know what? Man. I need a break.
My hotel is literally across. Maybe not like across the street from Globe Life. I will teleport into that hotel. I promise you. I promise you.
Just cut to a Girard walking down this Texas street with the old Incredible Hulk piano music behind him.
Just shaking his head. Just shake my head. Just
Are you good, Girard? What happened, brother? What happened? Death Riders, man. Death Riders.
Not another month of this Death Rider stuff.
Girard gonna go to doggone Mount Everest. That's the clearest head.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to do a hike myself. Plant a flag of my own up there. Man, I need to call my own ops because this is ridiculous.
Go on the mountain, brother.
Yeah, I got everybody there. Why can't you just get the job done? To me, if the Death Riders win Anarchy in Arena this Sunday, we can just move to Anarchy in Arena. If they win this match, boo and hiss. Because here's my thing: why is the roster not coming out to support? Why is not Top Flight coming down here to jump them? Get they piece in? Because there's no rules to the match. So why everybody who they have jumped should be coming back to get their piece of skin?
Right.
And if they don't, boo. Just boo. And tomato. Like that's not it. That's not it. Like, because you're not. It's just not good booking, in my opinion. It's and they've done that to other people in their matches. Like, no, where's the Dark Order at? They should be coming out to get their skin. Everybody who's lost some skin to these people should be out here to get theirs. Yep. Because this is all building up to Endgame, but we're not doing the sad ending. We don't need to snap everybody. Because I've seen a snap at the end of every pay-per-view. You snap my swerve, you snap Cope, and then Cope had to take the stabs to the back, which I wasn't really wanting that, but like still, Cope was viable. You snapped Jay White to the point where my man's is gone again. You get a snap. Come on, man. Like, look at the list. We didn't have enough bodies. You'd have collected enough souls, man. It's done. It's over. I'm calling it Terrence Howard. I'm calling it everybody. It ain't no next time. It's this time. Jump them. Get it done. And if we want to use wrestling logic, y'all, the baby faces were the ones left laying on Wednesday. So you know what? I ain't see Collision. Don't holler at me about Collision. I'm a collide at Anarchy in Arena on Sunday. They better win. It's the Avengers, Kenny Omega and his team.
Sound like you about to crash out. That's what
I tell you what, if y'all don't hear me, you will hear me in my heartbreak in Texas if these mugs win. Because you will hear it. You will hear a yell and silence, and that's it. I'm just
what's that clip? Like if the Death Riders end up winning, you'll just hear like silence and then just Girard from Texas. He can't keep getting away with this.
Oh man. Well, nah, but Jay, who you got this match for, man?
I have the Death Riders losing. And I got somebody in mind where you're talking about people coming in or running in and just screw over the Death Riders. There's one person we haven't mentioned in a long, long time, and that man's name is Eddie Kingston.
Ooh.
I think this would be a perfect time for him to come back and get his comeuppance on John Moxley. I could see that happening, and it's going to be an interesting match because he's still got beef with Claudio, and he sees that his boy John Moxley is teaming up with Claudio. It's like, yo, what is going on? I think Kingston could wreak some havoc, and it would be much, it would be a surprise where a lot of people haven't thought about him because he's been gone for so long. And I think it'd be time for him to come back if he's healed up already. So I do have the Death Riders losing and Ops and Company winning.
And just to throw one your way, Jay, Gabe Kidd's on that team, and who took the title off of Eddie Kingston? Gabe Kidd.
Yeah, that's right. Yes,
that's
sir.
The last match he had, so there's bad blood for him with Gabe Kidd in addition on top of that. So I like the Eddie Kingston shout, man.
Everybody, it's aligning for it to happen. So love to see that happen.
And we love the image of him bleeding with that gas can. So
with
Anarchy truly
that's
in the arena. Truly Anarchy in the arena. But Ray, what you cooking with?
Well, I do like that as well, Jay. I do think because I've kind of been shouting myself in I believe it was I don't know. Oh yeah, I think it was Brent Chittenden who during the Christmas Hana Kwanzaa kickback that we had, we were both feeling like Eddie Kingston has to come back and take this belt, because I think it would be apropos, because not only with that history, but you also have like who beat John Moxley in that Continental Classic final to kind of get the belt initially. It was Eddie Kingston, and so I think you can really tell a good story with those brothers, and with him coming back, like coming back off an injury. I think it. If you're gonna have anybody above Darby Allin get it, it should be Eddie Kingston. If not Will Ospreay, it should definitely be Eddie Kingston. So I could see that happening. And then I agree with you guys. I think there shouldn't be any way that that John Moxley, the Death Riders, and the Succession Boys, aka the Young Bucks, should get away with this W. I think the good guys should prevail.
Okay, and then so are you sticking to your? You kind of gave us a little spoiler, Nate, but go ahead and lengthen that out for us. Who you got winning tonight?
Well, you know, the good thing with Anarchy in the Arena is it is the time where the baby faces are not only allowed, but they're encouraged to break the rules. Like one of my favorite Anarchy in the Arena moments in AEW history is when we had Trent Beretta's moms show up in the van to do some damage. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, like I like what you're saying, Girard. Like if there could be points in this match where, like, yeah, we just get random good guys. Like, yeah, this is for my brother. You know what I mean? Like one of those. Like, yeah, and another one, you old so and so. Like just like my man off of Friday, Red. Like,
yeah,
give my grandmama chain back. Like just moments like that where just random people get their
everybody coming up.
Even Ezel got his money back.
Yes.
You
can have this knife. I don't kill. So yeah, like I think the Avengers, if you will, win this match, and they should win it in impressive fashion, man. Like just because if you look at, and there's no shade to the Death Riders or the Young Bucks as a whole, but if Mox loses, he's still the champ. If the Young Bucks lose, they still have the whole EVP thing. Claudio and Gabe Kidd, like y'all kind of expendable. I don't want y'all feelings to be hurt, but you kind of expendable in this mix. Whereas if you look at the Avengers side of things, nah, y'all ain't beating this man Kenny Omega yet. Y'all owe Swerve for beating him a couple months ago. Like y'all owe that brother. Y'all still in debt to that brother. Willow needs some get back. And the ops, man. Come on. This man, the king of television, Samoa Joe, and Powerhouse Hobbs on these streets. So yeah, like I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be crazy. I'm glad it's not the main event though. I'm glad that they're saving the main event for a straight up one-on-one match. But yeah, this is one more for the good guys, as the late great Scott Hall would say.
Now, real quick, before we do get towards the end, I know we're wrapping up on this particular review, but what song gets played over and over again?
Ooh.
I think it would be hilarious if Swerve's theme music would get played and then Nana is just dancing the entire time. I would love to see that. He's like, I can't stop.
You gonna tire that brother out.
Well, he got the coffee, so I think he'll just take a sip every like 5 minutes.
I like that idea. I would go Swerve to kick it off. I would then go, because I feel like they did this one of the years where the EVPs either stopped that or had their music playing or something like that. I don't think they let that happen again. So they do it again, have their music playing, and then I don't know how it gets switched again. I think we're having Willow's song play.
Oh,
a little just happy-go-lucky theme song, and they just
over and over again. I like that idea.
that'd be jamming.
Some upbeat music to violence is hilarious.
I said, while somebody's head's getting thrown through a glass window,
people get put thumbtacks.
I like that idea.
Set on fire. There's somebody doing the fire, the running fireman.
Somebody breaking out some barbed wire, and we still got
Willow choking out Marina with a cable from one of the cameras.
Yes, I'm here for it.
She just got a big old smile on her face. Smile anyway, like she say. So yeah, there she go.
I'm here for it.
My question, and it's just a quick last fire off of this match. Do we let Willow pin John? Like after somebody else hits the move, do we let Willow pin John to get that get back for her taking that Death Rider? Because I'm always thinking about the get back. And there's a receipt owed for that has not been paid because Swerve ain't get that back at Dynasty. Yeah. So when is it coming? And I think it might be a pinfall Willow over John.
Interesting.
Well, I could see maybe Willow either getting in a pounce or maybe getting in a doctor bomb on John, and then maybe Swerve finishing off with the house call.
The house call.
Okay.
Because I'm seeing house call V trigger like they did on Dynamite. Willow pins.
Okay. I like it. I like the idea. I see the vision.
And then Swerve kind of gets his own retribution in the same way of that, because like
not the white vision, but the
he
vision.
ain't gonna get the belt, but he at least get some hope and some shine. And he can launch his shoe with that too. So that's coming out soon. So shout out to him getting. Hey, that to me, I don't care what brand it is. If I somehow got a shoe, especially if I was a sneakerhead, that'd be the coolest thing in the world. So I think his shoe look pretty nice to me.
That's why I think you end with the Swerve stomp so you can fix the shoe.
So having a perfect camera angle with those. Oh man, yeah.
But we about to play this game.
Live too.
We about to play this game. We're gonna speed round everything else. I would like to do a Don Callis versus the Paragon. Who we got, Paragon, or do we have Don Callis family, folks? Let's go Lacey, and we're gonna spin it around.
I'm gonna say Don Callis.
Don Callis, Ray?
Callis family.
Okay.
Yeah. I learned from Fast and the Furious, it's all about family.
Okay. I go with Don Callis as well because I think a future 6-way is coming up for the TNT title, because I think everybody vying after that could be an interesting match, especially everybody in the Don Callis family. Some Takesta Fletcher tension, if you will. How about we move on to Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness versus FTR? Who we got, folks? We're gonna go with Nate starting it off.
Hey, I always bet on Black, Stokely Hathaway, and them boys.
I say he ain't just start this whole turn for nothing. So
right.
How about you, Ray?
I actually got I got Nigel picking up the victory. I think that he's got to get a dub one of these times, because I think even in the three matches that he had coming back, I think he's lost them all, or he at least hasn't been able to get the victory on any of them. So I think it's going to be a good babyface pop to have him get a victory this time around.
Okay. Lacey.
I also have Garcia and McGuinness because I think, again, here's another theory. Adam Copeland's got to come back at some point.
Good point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
And with all that said,
I had that on my mind as well, with Cope being a part of the shenanigans.
You know him.
And you're right, because Cope coming back, FTR need to win. So they definitely getting that dub with that. So go ahead, moving on to Mark Briscoe and Ricochet in a stretcher match. I'm going Ricochet because my man is quiet cooking like Becky Lynch in whatever year she became the man when she was just doing that win streak up to SummerSlam. He been quietly cooking as a heel with Zach Gown, with all those folks in the background. I think he gets a dub, especially since he does not have a pay-per-view dub in this company yet. Lacey, where we rocking with it?
I too have Ricochet. I think Mark Briscoe is going to be eating the pan. He can, and a loss really doesn't hurt him either. You know, he's already established. He's made, and I think this is Ricochet's time to climb that ladder.
I love it. I love it. All right, Ray, how about you, man?
I got Ricochet as well. You guys said it all.
Nate?
Yeah, all respect and love to his brother Mark Briscoe, who may be the most traditional wrestler in the game right now. But yeah, if you're gonna tell me Mark Briscoe gonna win, don't make me laugh. Give it up for Ricochet on these streets.
Show some love for Ricochet. I love that. Well, we're moving on to the tag title match. The Hurt Syndicate versus the Sons of Texas. Who we rocking with? Nate, tell me who you got.
Hey, no disrespect to Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, but they are the Washington Generals going up against the Harlem Globetrotters. Because come on, man, we didn't go through four weeks of being intrigued by somebody's thumb on national TV just for them to drop the belt. So yeah, Hurt Syndicate all day.
Okay. Right?
I agree. I think, yeah, you tried it, Dustin. You tried to get the people on your side. You know, you just a sacrificial lamb, brother. You know, you just a lamb being led to slaughter, brother. So, yep. Hurt Syndicate, Bobby, and Sheldon all the way.
And how about you, Lacey?
We hurt people. We hurt people. We hurt people. I think it's going to be a banger match, man. This is going to be one of those ones that's kind of slept on because all four of them can go. But Hurt Syndicate coming out on the win.
I agree. I think it's Hurt Syndicate. I think Guevara is going to be happy to be out of penitentiary, ROH penitentiary, and he's going to be looking to put on a show. I also think that they lose, and this is the seed to the end of the Sons of Texas. So, hey, I think that's the beginning of the end because Sammy didn't even get a word, I think, in that promo on Dynamite this past week. He was just in the back. So, you know what? Yeah, he cooking in his head saying, I got to get out of this tag team. So, soon to be. If we don't get these tag titles from these boys, I'm going to have to get you, Dustin. So, I definitely think we're going down that route. And to end it off, the timeless one herself going against Mina, figure 4 around the pole, Shirakawa. How we feeling about this match? Who you got, Nate?
Everybody loves Mina Girard Brown.
Me
except for the bookers. Except for the bookers. Come on now. TK is not going to fumble the bag with this Marilyn Monroe deal he got going with Timeless Tony Storm. It's going to be a fun match. It's going to be a good match. But nah, Tony is not dropping the belt to anybody except for the women we already talked about, either Jamie Hayter or Mercedes Moné.
Right.
All right, Ray?
Yeah, I agree. Although, if you're going to have Mina come out, please ditch the bootleg version and get the real rights to Danzo Kuduro. Get rid of the bootleg version and get the real rights, okay? Yeah. You got all this money. You got doggone Orange Cassidy, got the doggone Pixies. This brother been on the shelf for how long? I don't know. Come on now, get the real rights.
Ray, they can't do it, man. The tariffs, Ray. The tariffs. Music rights are going up.
You could do it for the pay-per-view at least. Come on now.
The tariff on the accordion is wild.
So, I'm sorry, but Jay, go ahead and just
Tony.
Okay.
That's sweet.
Yeah,
I like that. Because I'm going with Tony too, man. It ain't nobody else but Tony. I love Mina. Her time will come, but it ain't today. And it won't be Sunday either. So, with that being said, I do think with her, she might go heel. And if she goes heel, I think that heel turn is Tony's way of getting, and I mean Tony Khan, Tony Khan's way of getting Mita back to that song that nobody liked, because then everybody will boo the song, everybody will boo her, and she can get heel through that. So I do think her heel turn might be on the way, and that song might be back. Because what did Tony say on commentary? She was like, "Where did that song go? I actually really love that song, and it's a really compelling beat and tune of the electric variety." You said another wild thing on
like
commentary
Mickey
that
Mouse out
caught
here,
me
bro.
and had me laughing. Bro. You killing me. It sound like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, you got him sounding like Mickey Mouse.
And with that said, I'm gonna shut my cell phone up. But we are
I love
moving.
it.
We are moving to what you know as the big three, the nation of three. Well, it's the theory of relativity three. Did I say with enough gusto? And they said, okay, cool. I say with enough gusto. So we got our winner of the month, our loser of the month, and the you all right of the month. So we gonna kick it off with Ray this month. Who you got for your winner, your loser, and your you all right?
Oh man, see, and y'all thought I was fumbling when I had to guess for the doggone money in the bank.
Okay, no, I got you. I'll pass it.
All right. I think I can be a little bit quicker with this one.
Okay.
I think, well, and I'm supposed to be doing like the sound effects and stuff like that. All right. I think, well, let me.
You were supposed to be doing the sound effects.
Yeah. I was like, let me get this stuff.
Like, I'm only one man.
Yeah. All right. So for my winner, who I think is doing great stuff.
You win.
Let's go with, I think since the last time we talked, I think Seth Rollins has been doing some interesting stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and put Seth as my winner. My loser right now.
They call me Big L. You lose.
You know what? On the basis of this person just being kind of removed off of TV it's just since WrestleMania, pretty much, and it pains. Well, you know what? After all this stuff with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, I'm not gonna be the other one to crap on black women. I was gonna pick Bianca since she's been out, but
watch yourself, RG3.
Exactly. Stop it. I think I'm gonna go with Cody. Where you been at, brother? Where you been, brother? Boo! You ain't getting involved. You ain't getting your get back, brother. You just been sitting on the sidelines, sipping on what is that? That Wheatley vodka. Reminiscing. What's going on, brother?
It does look good though, Ray.
All right, but and my eye.
It's not right, but it's okay.
I think you mentioned these brothers before. I think one of you guys mentioned these brothers before, but I'm gonna go with the Lucha Bros. I think even though they have kind of been in, kind of like put in a rock and a hard place, especially with Rey Fenix and having that opportunity on WrestleMania with Rey Mysterio going down for that injury. I think he was put in a rock and a hard place. So but I think these dudes are continuing to do great work no matter what they're given, and I think they're going to get their shine sooner or later. So I think they're doing all right stuff. They came out, at least, especially with Penta, it came out with the House of Fire, literally. Kind of dimmed down a little bit, but I think that the sky's the limit for both of those brothers.
Okay. Jey Lacey, what you got, man?
All right, my winner for this month,
You win.
Jacob Fatu.
All right.
This dude has been setting the world ablaze. I mean, everything he do is just is dope. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with him as my winner. And I think the sky's the limit for him. My loser.
They call me Big LA. You lose.
Y'all gonna look at me weird at this one, but follow me. Jeff Cobb.
Man.
Not JC Mateo. Jeff Cobb lost. You know, I wish he could have kept his name. So he took the L on that one. It's gonna take a minute for me to grow on JC Mateo. Just like, you know, what's his name?
Don't you dare.
Ricky
Saints?
Yeah.
Like, don't you throw that name out there, because that ain't that man's name.
Yeah. So it still pains for me to say that. So JC Mateo, yeah, he took the loss on that one for this one. And my all right goes to Mid JF, also known as Maxwell Juneteenth Freeman. So the reason why I go with this one is because yes, Maxwell Juneteenth Freeman is because this dude is acting way out of character. I mean, he's to me, he's lowering his standards to join a group that doesn't fully accept him. And I mean, I like the story that's being told. I mean, it does make the dynamic of the group really, really strong. But I think he's like viewed as the weak link of the group, where all three of them together were already strong. So I just think he's all right. I mean, it's not the best storyline for him, but I'm very compelled and interested in what they're going to do going forward with this story. Where does he go? Because his ultimate goal is to be a world champion. How does he get there? By hanging out with the tag champions. How are they going to propel him? What's he going to do to benefit them? So he's just all right, but I mean, I want to see where it goes. So that's my 3.
All right, Nate. Who's your winner, man?
Yes, never forget Maxwell Juneteenth Freedman was freed from the shackles of brofoonery by the Hurt Syndicate. So for my winner,
You win.
my winner, surprisingly enough, is somebody who I underestimated, and I'm man enough to admit it. I'm gonna give it to main event Jey Uso. For not only, you know, he had the big win at WrestleMania last month, but I thought we'd get to a point, Girard, where that momentum either plateaued or started to wane. Like, you know, everybody's hot for when you win the belt, as we saw with Kofi Mania. Still one of the greatest moments in wrestling history, in my opinion. But it's the follow-up. It's the follow-up that determines how your run is going to go. And so I was like, I in my mind, I'm projecting Jey to be on that Kofi Kingston, Ron Simmons, if you remember some of them opponents Ron Simmons had during his title reign. Like, I'm putting Jey on that trajectory. But he has stayed hot. The audience is with him, like doing the encores of the entrance song. Like Jey doesn't quite fit the mold of what this company has traditionally had as their flag bearers, but he's working right now, and the people are still into him, and it's organic. So yeah, shout out to this man. Main event Jey Uso, 4 letters, 1 word. Ray Williams. Yeet.
Yeet.
Now we get a little negative on these streets for the loser.
They call me Big LA. You lose.
I almost gave it to John Cena. Like, he was this close. He was this close to getting it this month. But after all of our conversations about All Elite Wrestling, come on. Like I don't even think it's fair to give them the award, because maybe we should just name the award after them. But it's the damn Death Riders, man.
Oh.
Like, if the only joy people That's gonna be Girard walking out of that arena in Texas after the Death Riders win.
200%. 200%.
But if the only enjoyment people get out of you is you losing, then it's like, come on, like, and not even in an entertaining, like, oh, Ric Flair's a heel. I love to see that heel lose because I love to hate him. We're not even at that point with the Death Riders. We just want y'all to go away.
Right.
So the Death Riders are the losers of the month for me.
Okay.
Finally, they all right.
It's not right, but it's okay.
I'm gonna take a different tact on this and go from somebody who's an in-the-ring performer to some folks that are out of the ring performers. And I'm gonna go to NXT and that commentary table where we've got Booker T, where we got my man Vic on these streets, and we've got Corey Graves. I am somebody you can go back and listen to shows when Corey and Booker T were together. I never liked that pairing. Like they just never gelled to me. Like it always felt like it went beyond the level of normal wrestling announcer banter to y'all are dragging down the enjoyment of the program for me because y'all are arguing too much. And there was almost a racial edge to it, a little bit of a racial edge to some of the stuff Corey was saying at Booker T. But I actually kind of dig the three of these guys on NXT. Like for whatever reason, maybe it's a different environment, Girard, but it works because now Booker's a lot more cartoonish in NXT than he was when he was on SmackDown. And Graves feels like a toned down version. So Booker's got more animated. Graves has gotten slightly less animated. And then Vic just kind of balances it out. It's like a nice glass of that fine Wheatley bourbon. Future sponsor, Nefarious Media Network. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to the NXT commentary team. Like they shouldn't work, given my feelings about Booker and Corey previously, but they do work for me.
Okay. That's an interesting pull because I would have never thought about that. But I like that.
In my head, you could probably do the whole theory of relativity 3 with that whole table.
For real.
In my head.
For real.
So who is who, Ray Williams? Stand on business. Stand on business.
No, I don't want that smoke. You
don't want that tweet from Booker T.
Yeah.
Ray Williams, how could you bring down another black man? This is what they want. You going on Vlad TV.
I know. I got a drum set in the back.
Vlad TV. Oh man,
You better show that man his respect.
Oh man, not the Vlad TV pull.
Absolutely agree.
So I'm gonna go with my winner of the month.
Hold up.
You talking shit about Booker? You can't even hit the button.
Booker ain't the producer, okay?
I'm gonna go with Io Sky because I think she's just been consistently delivering and giving us performance after performance. And I believe she might have been my winner last month, but like she's only growing in her star, and I'm highly impressed with what I'm seeing from her. So I'm happy with Io. But that brings me to my loser.
They call me Big LA. You lose.
I'm gonna be mean. And I'm so sorry, but it is the city of New Orleans.
Oh,
that is the biggest loser of this month. Because you had the bag and then you let them go. Actually, never mind. Here's money in the bank. Here's a smaller bag for you. We'll be back eventually, but here's a smaller bag for you. So, because I can tell you, I was definitely more excited for that New Orleans trip than they saved. My bank account started to increase. They said, "Oh, Las Vegas again." I said, I'm at home with it. I'm on the couch with it. That's what you're telling me this year.
Save some money.
So, but not only for just the city, but also those surrounding that event. I don't want to say that was dirty but it definitely has a nefarious feel to it. Definitely does. So, but that now brings me to my eye of the month. And that's gonna be
It's not right, but it's okay. It's not.
It's gonna be AEW.
Yeah.
It's all right, Ray. It's all right. Shake it off, brother.
But it's okay. But now it's AEW because I keep it a buck with y'all. I've had some sour feelings this past month. Since the Swerve loss period, I've had some sour feelings towards AEW. And it's taken me listening to Brandon Thurston and John Pollock and them doing a timeline of AEW, looking at their archives that are on HBO Max and kind of reminiscing about some of that, and then actually paying attention to the product and trying to take my biases away because by George, man, I can't do this man with the title again. Like I can't, like it is the dichotomy of just like you have Tony who is cooking and growing as a star and timeless. This timeless gimmick has truly that is the growth of someone's idea on TV come to fruition and being like beneficial to the product. I don't know. I know that Mox was trying to do something. It ain't been working. I get that he's the title. I want to see the belt. Like, think about y'all should be trying to make money. We ain't seen the belt in almost a year. Why? Like when I see the belt on TV, it makes me want to go. My head went the wrong way and buy one of them belts. So, like, put it in front of me, and then that makes me excited. Like you in a briefcase. I don't want it. You don't see me with a gray briefcase, do you? No, you don't. Because I don't want that. I don't want that. So
that's gonna be with his action figure.
just a gray briefcase and a white t-shirt. Like what a crazy concept, man. Nah, I'm good. But they're bringing it back, and I'm able to look away from the Moxley stuff and say, yeah, you all are creating some exciting television. Going live in Detroit and being there live for that Dynamite was a great time. And so this month they have been winning me back on board. I'm trying not to be Mr. Doomsday Button. I'm trying not to be that meme with a hand just quickly hitting that red button because I've never been that person with AEW. But this Death Rider story is I had to go through the EVP storyline, and we couldn't finish that. We are now going through this storyline, and now we said we got leftovers and brand new food. I'm tired of this plate. I'm tired of this meal, Grandpa. And Tony keeps telling me, well, that's too damn bad. And I needed that. I needed that. But they giving me hope. Y'all trying to take it away from me by saying, no, Nate. I'm putting the Nate trying to take that hope away from me by saying it's gonna be it. No. Because if it is, see that it ain't the proper door, but that door right there in the scene, that's where I'm going. I'm using the door and I'm for a break. So with that being said, y'all, we gonna go and use the door and exit on out of here. So that has been episode 2 of Ring Theory. We gonna go around the horn, as they like to say, and with that, we gonna go out the way we came in. So we're gonna start with Nate. Any plugs for you, man?
Yes. First of all, appreciate another great episode of Ring Theory. If y'all enjoy what you're watching here, support the channel. Patreon.com/Nefarious Media Network is the best way, the fastest way to do that. Because right now, I don't know if you were aware of this, Girard Brown, but we on a drive. We're taking a trip right now. It's Memorial Day weekend. A lot of people on the roads taking trips. We at the Nefarious Media Network are on a drive for 500 Patreon subscribers. That is the stretch goal I have thought up for the network and just made a unilateral decision. That is what we are striving for. I didn't put an end cap on it. If we get 500 this week, that's great. If we get 500 5 months from now, that's great. If we get 500 by the end of the year, that's great too. But that is the goal that I've got in mind, because if we hit 500, then financially that allows us to do some different things and bring on some different folks to help out with what we're doing here at Nefarious. Maybe even get Ray some help with the production so he ain't got so many buttons to push. That brother's back here stressed. Like you talked about the meme of the dude pushing the red button. That's Ray. Like, which button do I push, brother? It's too many of them. Like these Negroes ain't even paid me yet. I just gotta press buttons all day. So you know, if you want to help Ray Williams out, Ray Williams had a tough month, y'all. Cora Jade ain't in the game no more. You know, calcium in the sports media these days, and Ray like having flashbacks and trauma from these conversations. So if y'all want to help Ray out, don't even think about us. If y'all just want to help out Ray, because that would make that brother's day. We're trying to get 500 folks by the end of the year, or by the end of the week, or by the end of the month. However fast y'all do it, that's when it's gonna get done. Because we can't do it. Like it wouldn't make any sense for me to subscribe to the Patreon 500 times and pay us with my money. Like that's not how business works.
Monopoly money then.
That's right. That's not how it works. So we need y'all to help us help you with the content we create here in Nefarious. But again, you know, shout out to Jey and Girard on another excellent episode of Ring Theory, man. This is a show that I'm excited for, man. This is only episode 2. But I'm excited for what these brothers got in store for us. It's only gonna get bigger and better. And shout out to Ray for joining us, even with all his faults. You know, I'm not gonna pick on my brother, you know, for his faults. I'm gonna uplift him, like to the mountaintop, so he can sit next to Darby and be like, "Hey, we made it to level 7. We made it to level 7. Now let's get back to work, Darby." So if you want more from me, hit me up on Twitter at @8 MOZAIK, or over at Blue Sky Nate Mosaic 757, or on IG BLAQUE_8. But most importantly, if you want to follow me, follow the network, because that's our team here. That's the fam, and we gonna keep it moving. We gonna bring you truthful commentary, thoughtful commentary, and turned up commentary while sipping on that delicious Wheatley bourbon, available in stores everywhere. Make it, come on, Cody. If you're gonna give anybody a sponsorship, Cody, come on, help your people out first, Cody.
Wheatley, so good I drink it neatly.
That is a traditional ass theme song, though. That's a traditional ass.
I'm worried about who's singing that theme song.
Right. Like, is this a real American beer situation undercover?
Y'all slick. And I ain't never seen nobody pull somebody up the ladder while smacking them at the same time, pulling Ray up like, you know, I'm gonna support you, brother. Get come on, I got you, brother.
Exactly.
After
Tough
3
love,
hours.
Ray. Tough love.
After 3 hours, now you want support. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, if I supported you all the time, it wouldn't mean as much in the times I do support you, Ray. You gotta think about it, brother. Cautious brothers know, brother.
Oh, that's trauma talking.
What you got for us, Ray?
All right. Well, I'm just gonna double down on what Brother Nate said. Yes, please. Patreon.com/Nefarious Media Network. And I'm gonna also go ahead and throw out a goal as well. So not only can we have the drive for 500 for the Patreon subscribers, but let's go ahead and get a drive for 500 for YouTube as well, because I believe we're up at around 105 right now. Okay. I think it takes 1,000 to get monetized, and we can start doing membered stuff too. So let's get halfway there. See if we can get halfway there within the year, and then we can continue to progress. So let's make it a drive for 500 for not only the Patreon but also the YouTube. I think we can do it, and that takes a lot more work from myself, which I'm willing to put in as far as getting you guys more content, whether it be more clips on here as well, whether it be the shorter clips or shorter shorts, as it were, or whether it be just getting shorter clips of some of our longer shows, because hey, not everybody has 5 to 6 hours to spend. So we could chunk in some of our big topics that we might spend like 20 minutes on, 30 minutes on. So make it a bit more digestible for you guys, a little bit more palatable, like a good glass of milk. Now,
whoa. He brought that on himself.
May
I offer a suggestion, Ray Williams?
Yes, sir.
Because I noticed on YouTube and on Instagram, you know, ASMR is hot on the streets right now. Or maybe it's just my algorithm. I don't know.
No.
Maybe, Ray, if we want to get these people subscribed on the YouTube, you need to hop on the mics and give them some ASMR. Call it Ray ASMR to tell people how we produce these shows. Hear the noises and the vibrations. We doing content. Ray ASMR is what the people need. It's what the people are demanding, Ray. Give them a full experience on these YouTube streets, sir. Ray ASMR, get on it, sir.
Yes, sir. I keep that in advisement.
Ray is like, I don't think I should agree to this. It sounds like a bad idea.
Oh no.
Today we're gonna talk about Ricky Superdome.
Oh no, not you whispering it. Listeners, I'm sorry. The folks who have us in your ear, that you ain't need that. You ain't need that. You ain't want that.
Somebody driving home from Memorial Day weekend, like, what am I listening to?
Nobody asking, especially if you'd have been here and you made it this far with us. You ain't asked for that. You ain't asked for that.
Who knows? There's probably 5 people out there is like, that's exactly what I want to do.
You know, hey, somebody's yucking, somebody's yum.
There you go. There you go.
What you got for us, Big Car Jey Lacey, man?
Hey, this is like Nefarious After Dark or something. So. Well, you can catch me up on the socials, on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky. Also, you might catch me on these on the network here with the Parlay, NWA podcast. You know, right here on Ring Theory. So I'll be right here. Holla at me. Thanks for the platform. And yeah, I'm not gonna do that OnlyFans thing like Ray is or that ASMR stuff. That's not my lane, so I'm right here.
Bring it up.
I say we got one brother for that. And that's his lane. I'm gonna stay in mine. Speaking of staying in my lane, you can catch me here on the Nefarious Media Network. I'm always appreciative of the platform and these brothers giving me the chance to work on my voice and be a part of their experience and what we build in here. So you can catch me here. You can find me at Head Cannon Graps as well. But as my hand is kind of busted, we on pause mode for that right now as well. So catch me here or on Ring Theory for the next month as well. Catch me on the Parlay. I might pop up on that. Catch me on whatever I get the invitation to. So grateful to be here. Grateful to be a part of this. But this is it. That's all. That's Ring Theory, y'all. So don't forget it. Bring your books next time. Bring your pens. Bring your paper. And bring your theories because we in here cooking. Peace and chicken grease, y'all.